Hello, hello. Welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to be trying out some of the game of Sisyphus, which is a new recent rage game, Faudian game, that has been making the rounds as of late. A lot of what I've seen has been I've seen little snippets, little clips. Here, let me turn this down a little. But yeah, I've seen some clips of Northern Lion with his godly banter chatting about it. I watched some of Ceres Fauna climbing to the top without the boulder, which was quite humorous. And today we're just going to try seeing how far we can get ourselves. So let's just hop right into it. Of course, we are starting with the standard boulder. And we'll see just what we can accomplish here. E to open the control guide. So there's WASD, shift to run, spacebar to jump. Left click, right click lets you tilt. Then there's, interesting, you can zoom out as well if you want. Okay, interesting. Does holding shift do anything here? It does. Oh gosh, we're going to be holding shift for a while, it feels like, if we're doing this all the way up. But yeah, like I said, I've seen a little bit of Northern Lion playing this. He's really the god of banter. And yeah, I definitely just want to see if I have the mental fortitude to make it through this. The only other rage game I played all that recently was Only Up. I think I played that maybe 6 months ago now. I don't know. It's kind of wild how long it's been, probably. Music here kind of bangs, though. It's pretty good. We'll see how we do on our way to the top here. So if it stays on the same music the whole time and it's just a short loop here, I could see it getting a little bit maddening. Oh, gotta pay more attention. Anyone else that I've seen play this? I watched a little bit of, like I said, Ceres Fauna. She went to the top without the boulder in a stream. I'm interested to see if she comes back and plays it quote-unquote properly. Because I've watched her play other similar rage games before, and it's a lot of fun. I've seen other like VTuber clips of people raging and giving up. I think Bales gave up after a while. Okay. Apart from that, I mean, nope. We should probably, you know, be trying here to get used to the controls when things are not particularly punishing, unlike how to recover. Whoa, okay, don't do that. Don't run on top of the boulder. That seems perhaps a little bit suboptimal. Okay, left and right click. You can control quite a bit of your movement with that. Apart from that, let's see. What else has been going on as of late? I've been watching more anime again recently. If you know me, you know I've been a fan of anime for quite some time, but a year ago or so, oh goodness, I fell off a little bit. I wasn't watching quite as much anime at the time, but then two of my favorite manga got adapted. That would be Frieren, A Journey's End, and Apothecary Diaries also got adapted, which I guess I wouldn't have said it was like one of my top manga of all time. It was just very enjoyable. It was a very good one. And the anime did an excellent job at quality for adapting that. So it's elevated pretty decently high now. I still probably wouldn't call it like top 10 of my favorites, but easily top 50. I've watched so many anime. I really, oh gosh. Let's just let it roll on back here. Okay, might have been dangerous to have it go quickly there, but it seems like you can still stop it even when it's rolling quite quick. That's good information for the future. And then Delicious in Dungeon, also known as Dungeon Meshi, was another anime that got announced for being adapted like over half a year ago, and it's been really good as well. So it's just such a strong showing right now of different anime that I'm back to watching it like weekly. I'm watching Bison Wolf right now as well, which is a bunch of fun. It was kind of one of the classic anime that I never thought would be continued, because how many years ago was it that Spice and Wolf Season 2 was? It has to be almost like 10 years, 8 years, 10 years. So it was sort of one of those that always came up on stuff that we'll never get as Season 3. So I'm really glad to see that. I've been enjoying it thus far. My only complaint is Holo, the wolf god. She has a thing where she transforms into her full wolf form, and it's in the story, it's very threatening and menacing. The main character, Kraft Lawrence, or the other main character, he's like horrified by it because it's just such a like menacing godly presence, I think. So it takes him a lot of time to adjust to it. But on screen, on the new adaptation, it's not that scary. It just looks like a sized up, doggish looking wolf. That's really the only complaint I have of the new one, though. Anything else, any other complaint would just be with the base story itself being so heavily, you know, market economics focused. That's what it is. But it's a nice it's something where I really like the characters and the chill vibe. Okay, yep, I just wanted to make sure my audio was good there. Looked over, seems fine. Oh, music's getting quieter. Is it going to shift to something else? We just hear the grinding of the boulder. Don't tell me it just... music stops. Okay, no, we're good. Something different. They have pretty good atmospheric music here. It's nice. Yeah, we try to go straight up the middle here. We're still very close to the beginning. From what I've heard, like, if you make 0 mistakes, this can still take, like, in excess of 4 hours. So we're just gonna see how we can do. And just do our best. Try to hold this just outside of range. And then slide on through. But yeah, so I'm, like I said, huge fan of anime, and I've gotten back into it more recently. So I'm glad there's been so much to like with anime as of late. Especially for like genres that were maybe a bit underappreciated. I mean, to be fair, just straight fantasy is a very beloved genre. I mean, just think of Lord of the Rings, all that stuff. It's very beloved. So that's Free-Run and Dungeon Meshi were like more fantasy, whereas the industry in general had been leaning towards more like isekai and like knockoff fantasy junk food. I mean, that shows, yeah, people are interested in that general sort of genre. I've been very happy having more of that. I hope we get more and more pure fantasy series here moving forward. But the Dungeon Meshi has been so good. I'm so happy that I read the manga like as it was releasing, and it is finished now, which is awesome. The odds of us getting a full adaptation are quite high, so I'm very much looking forward to that. But it does a great job of blending laid back, slice of life feeling stuff with comedy, and then it'll throw some crazy fantasy world building, like dark background story stuff at you, and it's just so good. I love that sort of aesthetic for a story. Where it's like comfy, funny on the surface, but there's some dark secret behind the world itself. A lot of my favorite series have actually had that general sort of vibe. One that comes to mind, if you haven't heard of it, is Girls Last Tour. It's an anime where there's two girls driving around a like military, little sort of military small truck. How would they call it the Kettenkrad, but it has like tank treads, but it's a small little buggy they go around in, kind of. But they're going through what is a like post-apocalyptic destroyed world. So there's always that question of like what happened here that caused the world to be so destroyed. Are there other people around? Are there major dangers that that they could run into? Well, now we know what the red barrels do. I wonder if they affect us. Oh shit. Run backwards, run backwards. What? It landed behind us. Oh no. Okay, so it seems like if it launches off the edge, it teleports pretty far back. Oh no, are we gonna have to run all the way back here? Oh, great. Well, it's good for this to be happening still towards the beginning, so we know like what would happen, so that maybe we can like rectify it before it gets this bad. Oh, the music's changing back, isn't it? So it is based on the region you're in. Dude, come on. It's really not stopping anywhere, is it? Are we going all the way back? No, my 15 minutes at the start. Gone into shambles. But back to Girls Last Tour. Yeah, it's still one of my favorite anime, honestly. But yeah, it's like a sort of slice of life comedy-ish. It's just a lot of small interactions between the two girls that are the main characters. And like I said, they're kind of just exploring this destroyed post-apocalyptic world, trying to find, oh, hey, there's this cool thing. Let's screw around with this for a bit. Oh, there's actually a person here. Incredible. Like, what are they up to? They're trying to make a plane to go explore. Like, oh, cool. Let's try to help them out. I think I just love that aesthetic of wholesome and comfy with dark vibes underneath. With a dark backstory. I guess that's also why when I got into Vtubers at the start, well, okay, I was interested in Vtubers for a little while. I'd seen them, and then Hololive English Myth was debuting, was the big thing that totally changed my level of investment. Oh, can you just tap shift to start running? Okay. Well, that's much better. Now we don't have to hold down our pinky finger the whole time. Glad we figured that out now. But yeah, Hololive English Myth was the VTubers that really got me into the community there. And the one that caught my attention most was Ninomai Inanis, the purple eldritch horror octopus type small artist VTuber. And it's because, yeah, that aesthetic was perfect. It was like, she was small and cute and comfy. Yeah, there was like a dark eldritch theme behind her, which is really, really sick. But then, yeah, she just streams comfy drawing streams a lot, were my favorite. So yeah, that's just one of my go-to favorite types of media, I guess. In general, I very much like slice of life comfy stories, so. And then I also love fantasy and world building, so I guess it's just a melding of those things. Let's try... Okay. Yep, we're just going back through this again. Yeah, those red barrels are scary, man. It can cause stuff to spiral out of control rather quickly. So we want to be a bit more cautious this time around, so that we don't waste another 10 minutes or so of progress. Okay, where to now? Let's see, what else has that aesthetic? Oh yeah, Maiden Abyss. When that anime initially came out, sadly I've only watched the first season and the first movie. I haven't caught up on it in a while, but when it first released, that first season was exactly what I wanted. Like I said, the art style of the characters and a lot of their interactions were quite wholesome and positive. But the world was like dark and brutal and gritty, and these horrible tragic things were happening, yet the characters still often, you know, come back to that hopeful, positive sort of point of view, at least from what I've seen thus far. Now, like I said, I haven't watched season 2. Part of it's because there's some questionable undertones in that series that I'm not very comfortable with, and it felt like the movie had them crop up more, and I heard the second season maybe did that even more so. So it's a hard, like, it's a love-hate relationship of me with that series, because the first season nailed it so hard. The art was incredible as well. The music, god tier. Kevin Pankin is a god. A god among men for making the background music of that. So yeah, it's rough. Because it was like a 10 out of 10 when I first watched it in my mind. It was my favorite thing. And I don't know how I feel about it wholly now. Let's keep going around. Girls' Last Tour, though, like, I have no complaints about that. The only thing I wish to change about it is that the anime does not fully adapt to the manga. And it's been long enough now. What was it, 2015-ish when it came out? 2016, one of those years? So it's been 8 years. It's really unlikely that they're going to make any more of it, because it finished, like, the manga finished really shortly after the Girls' Last Tour anime ended. And I think they could only make like 6 more episodes out of it. That's my only complaint, is that there's not more of it, and they didn't quote unquote complete it entirely within the anime format. You have to go and read it, which totally worth reading. I love that series. It's, yeah, easily in my top 5. Ranking shows and stuff you like is so hard. Like, anime for me is tough to rank because towards the top end, because I can say something's in my top 10, but an actual top 1 is almost impossible to come up with, because I love different things about so many of them. Like, how do you compare... Ooh, what a weird noise this is. How do you compare an anime like Jujutsu Kaisen, let's say? It's like really actiony, and then you compare it with Yeah, Girls Last Tour is a good one. Like so a very action-based, animation-heavy series versus a slice of life, comfy, atmospheric, like episodic show. They're just so different that it's like impossible to really compare properly. So there's stuff like ReZero is my favorite isekai by far. And I am like a big fan of well, okay. I do very much enjoy isekai. It's like junk food fantasy. So it's like one of those things, like critically it's not always incredible, and a lot of them can be really samey. But it's a fun thing to get into anyway. I still enjoy a lot of the mediocre isekais. But then ReZero kind of elevated it above that. It was a really solidly written series. Like, something about the way the author writes dialogue just really compels me. The characters, I think, feel a lot more real, and their banter, like, it's just something you could actually hear in that fantasy world, like, realistically. There's other series that it's like, okay, some 12-year-old kid in high school isn't gonna be saying this philosophical bullshit the way they are, like, non-stop, that you see in some other series. But no, ReZero dialogue is just incredible. It's one of the things that makes me really excited for the upcoming Suicide Squad anime, which, if you told me I was gonna love that series, or, oh gosh, just get it over here. What we can do. Oh no. We're okay. We lost control there for a moment, but not much progress lost. The Suicide Squad anime. When I first heard it about it, I was like, why should I care? Like, why? DC has screwed up so much of their like movies in recent times. Why do I want to watch them in anime form? But then I heard the author of ReZero was part of the like doing the dialogue writing and stuff for it. So it switched to me being very excited for a series I was not at all initially interested in. This has some really weird movement on these, like there must be different friction on different materials. This wood just really lets it slide a lot more. Oh shit. Where'd it go? What? You're kidding me. Oh goodness. Just one moment of losing focus and this happens. We were so close to the end of this section as well. Oh, this is pain. If I launch myself, I mean, that doesn't launch me. Can I run into barrels? Oh, we can. Okay. Just saying, we can like clear this ahead of time. We don't have to worry about getting screwed up by them. I mean, we're not catching up anyway, right? So what's the point? This is kind of launching us back a little faster, isn't it? But yeah, Suicide Squad, like I said, it's going to have the writer of ReZero work on the dialogue, so that is enough for me to be really interested in the anime all on its own. Because what else did he write? There was Vivi, Fluorite's Song. It was an anime about a android. And her coming to terms with like her not being a human, and she was also like, there was a time travel angle. Wow, it's been too long since I watched it. That was a really good show. VV Fluoride Song, if you haven't watched it. Definitely would recommend. I think it's only 12 episodes. If it's more than that, I mean, either way, it's pretty short and it's a complete series all on its own. So you don't have to go back and watch like a second season. Yeah, same author. Really cool. I guess that is interesting that both VV and ReZero are both centered around time travel. Which that's a gimmick I've found pretty frustrating in a lot of different series that don't seem to think out their story that deeply. It's sometimes just too easy to poke holes in their like time travel stories, but ReZero and VV I think both did a pretty good job at keeping it convincing within the world. But yeah, back to Suicide Squad. It is kind of funny how the Suicide Squad movie, like the live action one with, I think it was like Will Smith was in it and everything. It got so much coverage initially. And it's kind of crazy to me that I think it still reached a level of kind of success just because the marketing was good. Part of it, a huge part, I think, is they made Imagine Dragons do the like advertising song for it, Heathens, I believe. It was a really solid song that I enjoyed. It's just so funny that it made such a garbage movie get more interest than it otherwise deserved. So like, it's really hard to sell me on more Suicide Squad properties after that painful movie. And just in general, like I've never been a huge DC fanboy. But yeah, you bring in one of my favorite authors or favorite mangaka to help with the script, and yeah, I'll love trying to watch that. And it's isekai, like I said, huge junk food genre that I enjoy quite a bit. Anything else? Isekai. And then I also heard recently that Mori Calliope, one of the Hololive Myth VTubers, is going to be doing the ending song, I believe. I don't think it was the opening. I think it was the ending. I could be wrong, but he's doing one of the anime songs for Suicide Squad. It's like, okay, well, you sold me on one of a premise for a series that I had no interest in at all. Like, when I first heard Suicide Squad Isekai, it's like, oh my god, what is this horrific mishmash of stuff that I do not want to see? And then you just threw amazing thing after amazing thing at it. And now I'm really excited. There's no way they said Kevin Pankin's going to be doing the music, right? That's like a hallucination my mind's cooking up right now. Probably not. But if they do, I mean, hell, that's insane. Maybe they did. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not normally one to like be sold on just based on whoever's involved, but they really targeted some of the greats there. Here, 1 second. I just wanted to refresh the chat just in case. Continuing on. In case anyone was rambling away and I couldn't see it. I'm always a bit paranoid with that because YouTube, every so often YouTube chat breaks and doesn't load new comments. If there's not a like constant flow of people chatting, I get a little paranoid that it could have broken again. That's why I also have chat open on my phone off to the side here. But it's happened before that it broke on both things at once. So yeah, that's why I check every so often to make sure. But yeah, I'm actually, why am I, why am I so excited for that? It should be a lot of fun. Why was I going so fast? Okay, now we can go back to sprinting. Yeah, I'm very glad it's toggle sprint. Like I said, I was kind of dumb earlier not realizing that, because it would be so painful to try and hold down the shift key the whole time here. Any other series I've been excited about as of late? Like I said, Spice and Wolf, I've been watching more of it. It's one of those that it was one of the early anime I watched, like first 20 anime or so I watched. And it kind of introduced me to the more laid back, I'm not even sure you would call that one slice of life, but that sort of vibe, sort of genre. There's not really action in the series. It's purely like character drama based. So that's a big reason I'm watching it again now. I'm not sure if the story actually appeals to me as much as it did initially. Because they sometimes get a little bit into the weeds with the economics side of things. That's just not really my thing. But just like any other series, there's so many anime that have spun off of some obscure topic I'm not interested in at all and then made it really compelling. For example, like sports anime. I never thought I would like sports anime, but there have been several that have told it in a very compelling way. I guess it's more because they just have good like character dynamics and all that. Haikyuu, I believe, is one. It's volleyball. I think it's focused about, yeah, volleyball. I need to go back and watch more of that. I stopped after season 3, which was it was like a 10 episode season where they covered just one match, and that threw me off a little bit. For me, like I said, these sports anime, I often end up enjoying them because of the characters and the character like growth over time, like their emotional growth. So it kind of frustrates me when it feels like they're stuck in one match for an absurdly long time. Okay, let's just try to keep this centered as much as we can. Yep. Okay, yeah, this was the way. I should have just done this last time. Yeah, that wasn't even hard. What was I doing earlier? So yeah, I like those series for the character growth they usually show and the overall story of the season as a whole. But when they get stuck on just one single match and it lasts 10 episodes, when previously each match was maybe like 2 episodes at most, it really took the wind out of my sails for like the overall progression of the story. An example of my favorite sports anime is called Run with the Wind. Kind of a funny title there, you know, because the English book titled the same thing, but no, the manga is Run with the Wind, and it follows a like university aged a team of university students who all join like they're like preparing for a marathon like race together. I guess I'm not sure exactly, it's been a while. But yeah, they're all preparing and living in the same spot, and just across the course of the season, like it's a complete story. I don't remember how many episodes it was. I think it was more than 12. It might have been 24. But in that, you get their entire story of them starting to do the sport, all the way through to them doing their final match and getting past each of their goals. Ooh, the sound of the ground here, man. Ugh. Kinda gross. Not a big fan of that. Here, I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. Need to remember to... Oh, goodness. I should pause. Ah, there it is. Toggle running, I see. Yeah, I need to remember to stay hydrated, especially if we're planning to do this for hours on end. Let's keep on keeping on. But yeah, the controls do seem maybe a little... Ooh. Like you turning the boulder seems to be less effective in this area. With the left and right click. This area, it makes me think of like back in high school. Which, oh my god, crazy to think that was over a decade ago now. But we had a environmental science AP class. And we would go out. There was like a nearby like wetland area nearby that we could our teacher would take us to, and it had like grass over top the wetland, and just walking through that was so ugh. I think we also went on like a Florida trip at the time and you had like waist high like waders, boots that like transition into pants to prevent you from getting wet. And yeah, we went through the Florida wetland like that. Nature be crazy, just how much variety there is throughout it. Oh, that trip was something. Oh, it's kind of weird to think back to stuff that was that long ago. Thankfully we didn't run into any alligators or anything. That would have been horrifying, but yeah, I think we just went through the wetland a bit. And what else were we even observing? Was that it? Is that the entirety of what our teacher like got a whole field trip together for? Was just to like wade through the marsh a bit? Probably. In general though, I am not much of an outdoorsman. I think the stuff I'd most enjoyed in my travels across the country, which haven't been much, I think like hiking in mountains was a lot of fun. Like higher elevation, because that was just a lot more comfortable, I think, than, you know, wading through the marshes. Or near here where I live, sadly, there's a bunch of bugs all the goddamn time. I really hate the mosquitoes and the flies and all that, but when we went hiking, I think in Colorado, up to like a high elevation mountains, there were not many bugs at all at that time. I wonder if that's a general thing about the area, that it like very rarely has a bunch of bugs like that, or if it was the time of year. But if I was to ever like get into sportsmanship, I guess I would have to move to somewhere like that, because, well, okay, that's a little bit of a lie. Here in the Midwest, I do remember me and my brother used to go canoeing and kayaking more often. I really should hit him up to do that again here this summer. There's just a local river that goes between two of our nearby towns. And yeah, we just ride canoes or kayaks down that. It's a trip that takes a while. I think of 2 to 3 hours. Probably 2 hours, 3 hours. It probably depends on the weather. You know, based on how fast the water's flowing, how high it is, because if there's been like minimal rainfall, you have to drag the drag the canoe across some areas that have gotten too shallow. But no, I think those were fun times of being outdoors. Maybe it's just camping that I don't care for as much. Yeah, hiking, kayaking, canoeing is fun. Camping, I don't know, man. I'd prefer to just, you know, take some stuff for s'mores out back behind my house and cook them there. Let's just keep control of this, because it would be a headache to lose control here. I actually kind of like the controls of this game. That's a big thing for fighting games for me, is just how they feel. Okay, well, I say that, but I've only tried a few of them. So maybe that's bullshit. But like getting over it felt really good to play. Well, really good, I don't know, but like the grabbing mechanic felt nice when it worked. In the general like running, jumping, slow-mo, like that was a fun game mechanically to play. Just based on like how it felt, even if it was a, you know, really jank looking game, it felt good to play. And that's hugely important on these like long, grindy, repetitive games like this. And these controls, like I'm pretty happy with these controls thus far. Now, I haven't made it to the ice level yet, so who knows if I'll be saying the same shit then. But we'll just try to keep rolling along for now. We do not want to get screwed over by this, so let's wait here for a moment. But then there was something like, what was it called? A hard game about climbing. In that, I watched... Oh, goodness. Come back, come back. I didn't think they would rotate like that. I did not realize. Okay, they do 3 shots and then they rotate and fire. Okay. Oh my gosh. We're fine, we're fine. Not even close. Watching people play a hard game about climbing, like the controls did not look fun, and I heard a lot of people like had hand pains from trying to play that one too, so I was not very interested in attempting that one specifically. I kind of wanted to because Fauna played it, to be honest, and of course, you know, the goat Northern Lion played it as well, but I just wasn't interested in the same way as this and Onlyo. And then Jump King and Getting Over It one day, those I have to play. They look like the #1 best made ones that I just want to wait until I actually have an audience for those. Because you only ever get to, you know, play these games for the first time once. And that's the experience everyone wants to see. Like, can they beat it? It's their first time playing it ever. Are they going to make it through the game? So that's why some of these lesser known ones that are like the flavor of the month, I'm more interested in playing them now than the greatest of all time Jump King and Getting Over It options that I really would like to experience someday with more people. Okay, it's not that bad. I was concerned the boulder would go absolutely like flying off the edge if it got hit by the arrow, but that doesn't seem to be the case, so I'm more comfortable in this area now. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should be hyper cautious to where I never get hit by anything ever. And us being too comfortable is going to lead to our downfall. But we'll try. We'll keep pushing through. Maybe get some more exciting moments. But yeah, like these games in general, the big appeal is like, okay, just proving you can do it, proving you have that mental fortitude, which I guess that's a cool thing about Sisyphus specifically. Um, like the myth, like the myth, legend of Sisyphus is all about how, like, his punishment from God, from Zeus and them, was to push a boulder uphill forever. And it'd just be so, like, mentally painful and horrific to try and do that. So it's like it really, like, the messaging really fits with this type of rage game. It's like, can you survive the mental anguish of pushing a boulder up the hill seemingly forever? So yeah, we'll see if we can manage that. Hopefully we can. Oh, I just pushed it right into it. I still don't know whether these scarecrow... let's just test it, okay? Let's test it. Ooh, they really do launch it. Okay. Yep, we have to be cautious about them then. They move so slow that I wasn't certain. But yeah, they have force. Like, it wouldn't make sense if they put... Well, okay, they could, but... It would be a bit too kind if they put obstacles that didn't really do much to you. I'm not surprised that these can really hurt. Trying to get the rock to stay in one spot is actually a little bit taxing. So what else was I talking about? I think we're bantering about the outdoors. Which, you know, such a fun gamer thing. Wait, did the music change when I alt-tabbed? How weird. Yeah, this sadly didn't have a setting that I noticed to keep the audio playing when it's in the background. So every time, if I end up clicking over, it cuts out for a moment. But yeah, I really like the, like I said, Sisyphean effort, I guess is what people call, like, it's a pointless task that grinds on forever. So it fits so well with this style of game. And like I said, the gameplay actually feels pretty nice too. So I'm liking this one. This one's fun. In general though, I've always liked, you know, Greek and Roman myth stuff. Back in the day, when I was a wee lad, I remember reading all the Percy Jackson books by Rick Riordan. In fact, I read those Percy Jackson ones, which were the Greek gods. Then I read his Egyptian god ones. Oh, I don't think I ever read the ones with Nordic gods. I think that was added later on. And then he did like a Roman god sequel as well. That, yeah, I read all of those that were, oh gosh. Oh my gosh, I don't like this. Oh my gosh, it just phased through the scarecrow. Well, we're screwed. And it really seems like I have to get all the way ahead of the rock. Okay, we're good. We're good. Are we good? We're good. Okay, so now we know the rock can, like, phase through stuff. Let's just try and wait again. Okay. But yeah, media with like interesting takes on the Greek and Roman gods, always cool. I really liked those Percy Jackson books back in the day. More recently, there's the game Hades. Became one of my favorite smaller games, smaller devs games. And that one's so much fun. Super Giant Games, I think, did it. You are playing as the son of Hades in that one, and you're trying to break your way out of hell. And you interact with all these different gods along the way. They give you extra powers to try and make it back to the top and break out. And it was just really a lot of fun, really fun game. The action combat is like excellent, really enjoyable. So I would definitely recommend playing Hades. And just recently they came out with the early access of Hades 2, where you play one of Hades' other children. And you're instead trying to like save the gods from a big threat and your homeland. And yeah, I played that recently on stream, and it was really a bunch of fun. So it's just interesting seeing those things that I enjoyed a ton during childhood, coming back to showing up again now. Like, we need more fantasy versions of myths. Like, it can create such an interesting world, because you're already going off of so much pre-existing lore, I guess. Yeah, Hades 2, Hades 1, incredible games. Try them out. Really cool. Get to beat up a bunch of people. Okay, I don't think we made it to the top of this last time. I think we we screwed something else up earlier, so we should be good now. I'm pretty scared of those holes right there. I feel like if the boulder rolls over that, it might just fall straight through. So we're going to do our best to avoid said locations, unless we're forced to go over top of them. Which, looking up ahead, maybe we're forced to? I don't know. Because if it like falls through that, and we have to, like, there's not much it's going to be stopped on. We'll have to run all the way back so far. Yeah, this definitely seems set up like you're supposed to be avoiding these, so we're going to avoid these gaps until we're forced to do otherwise. Oh yeah, Percy Jackson. I mentioned it earlier. I forgot that there was apparently a TV show that I think came out last year. I don't think it was that greatly received, which is unfortunate because, like I said, I adored those books as a wee lad. I remember the movie being so... Okay, nice save. We got it. I remember the movie being so frustrating on how much they screwed up. I think they straight up, like, didn't include one of the major villain that orchestrated everything. I think it was like Ares or something, was pulling strings behind the scenes, and they just didn't even include that in the movie, which was so infuriating. It just makes me mad that it never got good adaptations, because I feel it could have, as a series, it had the potential to be as big as like Harry Potter, which is wild to say because that got massive. Maybe it wouldn't be quite the same level, but like I think it had the potential to be, like, just as much potential in my eyes. If only it had a like wide-reaching adaptation that was quality, that, you know, made it all the way. Ah, shit. What? You can go across this? Oh, it fucks with your walking. I see. Please stop. Okay, good. It seems like it will stop there. Yes, that's nice. Okay, there's a bomb. Oh, shit. Well, I'm glad I destroyed that, so that... And I'm very glad the rock avoided it. Otherwise, it may have gone straight down the middle on the way back. Yeah, at least we know now what this does. It screws with your walking, so we probably can't really push the rock over top it. But yeah, Percy Jackson, I think it did have the potential to be on the level of Harry Potter if only it gotten a proper adaptation somewhere. I swear there was another series that I thought the same thing about. been so long. Like when I was young, I mean, all the way through school, like through elementary through high school, I was reading books nonstop. I almost never read nowadays, but it's just because I have access to things like games and YouTubes and movies and shows, and so I don't just sit down to read a book anymore. I probably should. Most of the books I consumed recently-ish were a couple years ago. They were in audiobook format. And the big reason for that is audiobooks you can listen to while doing other things. A book, you can't hold a book and read the book while doing other stuff. So that makes the barrier of entry lower for like watching a YouTube video over reading a book, because you don't have to invest all your attention and your like physical movement to consuming it. You need to look for that one, but audiobooks, it's purely sound. So you can do it while working, you can do it while doing chores, while mowing the lawn. That's why I need to get back into looking into audiobooks, I think. Because I really enjoyed like World War Z is one of the audiobooks I listened to a few years back. And that one was really impressive because they had a bunch of different people voicing different sections. Okay, wow. So on that section, the rock even doesn't want to like roll properly. It kind of like sticks to it. It's a bit weird. So let's just keep, oh shit. The change in momentum on how it was pushed there is so sudden, depending on which section it's on here. As soon as it rolls off, we're gonna have to adjust our, oh, there we go. Okay, nice. We managed to navigate through that little headache of an area. This is suffering though. Like, it's just so scary because as soon as it switches off that surface, you gain so much more control that I think it's gonna like roll away. Please, 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 please. Okay, salvaged, barely. Oh, this is kind of rough. I didn't like, this doesn't look like a menacing area at all, but it's definitely taking some getting used to. I think it's because there's just such a high difference in like how the boulder rolls on these different surfaces, and we're not used to constantly adjusting for that yet. So I could see how it could become like a major headache in later zones, maybe. What was I talking about? Audiobooks. Yeah, World War Z was an exceptional audiobook. It's funny because back when I watched the movie with, what is his name? He has long hair, longish hair. Oh, he's such a big actor. I'm so horrible with remembering names, by the way. Both real life people, like I've met in person for just a few times, and also movie actors. But World War Z was a relatively entertaining movie. I remember enjoying it decently at the time. It's not like it was groundbreaking or anything. I think it just, the cool thing was it had fast zombies, I guess. Most zombie movies do not have fast moving zombies. And it was like so spooky to see. Some of the stuff they had the zombies do in that series. Just the hordes like sprinting at you, going up walls and shit. Like it was wild. So I enjoyed that one, but then it gave me sort of a weird expectation for the book, because the book is entirely different. Like it's strange to me that the movie was even called World War Z, because it felt way more like an original story. Because I think in World War Z, the book, it's more like a bunch of different characters. Like every chapter almost is a different character. And it's someone interviewing them about their experience during the Great Zombie War. And so it's such a different like way of storytelling. And the way the events went was also different in the movie compared to the book. So I definitely recommend the book. I mean, hell, I kind of recommend the movie even. It's just a very different story and piece of media. Let's just stay in the wind. It's gonna take a bit, but it's safer than potentially getting bonked away. Yeah, World War Z. I just remember, like, especially the audiobook, they had a bunch of different voice actors for it. So each interview felt like an actual, you know, different person that had survived the zombie war, and then you got to hear about what happened in their part of the world. Really, really compelling audiobook. I would recommend it. How did I even get to this? Where did this tangent spiral off from? Oh yeah, it came from audiobooks in general. Yeah, I was able to like read that, or listen to that at my old job. So it's like I wouldn't have time to physically read otherwise. I love books, man. Like, they're great. Like I said, I was basically addicted to them through all of high school. Partially because we didn't have amazing internet, and I didn't have, you know, all the game systems and readily available content like we have now. So I'm glad that I was able to read so much back then. Oh wow, this is weird. Just how the speed like adjusts so much across this. Are those cannons not firing at like regular intervals? Please tell me it doesn't just fire when we move in front of it. Like what is this? I'm spooked. Don't kill me. I mean, they don't seem to be firing. So maybe it's something they go off if you bump them. But we don't want to bump them. Yeah, nowadays, like mowing the lawn or something, audiobook would be great. You get to consume that story. Exercise as well, like jogging around, all that. Whereas it's much harder to do that with a though I'm kind of talking bullshit here because I currently read a shit ton of manga, and that you have to sit down and scroll through and read. So like what's the difference there? It's just like lower focus required because it's more art, less words to scroll through. So it's like I could totally fit in more books if I wanted to. I probably should. I would fit in so many more audiobooks if they were just accessible, because like I said, it's a form of entertainment that you can fit in where most other things won't. So like it's the same role a podcast can hold. It like, yeah, you can do it while doing pretty much anything, which is fantastic. But it's just hard to get audiobooks. I remember I had an Audible subscription for a while, and it's just pretty expensive. You get like 1 or 2 credits per month, so you can only listen to 1 or 2 audiobooks for that month. And then if you wanted to buy anything beyond that, it was like $60 or something for an audiobook. Like maybe I'm talking bullshit. Maybe it's changed by now. Maybe my memory's off, but I just remember it being oddly really expensive for a medium that felt like it should be more accessible. Okay, so now we're on snow, which should be a whole new texture to deal with. Though we seem to have pretty good control here. I'm kind of surprised. Maybe our side to side is good, but our forward motion isn't that fast. I'm not sure. Okay, just slide to the left. Slide to the left. I said left twice. Right. Crisscross. But yeah, I should get into audiobooks again, man. Like I said, it's mostly like a cost thing. If I was able to, like, if Audible was similar to the price of like a video subscription service like Crunchyroll per month, but I had unlimited audiobooks, maybe I would actually get back into it. But that's what frustrated me back in the day, was you got a credit, and then I was motivated to then only pick the books with the longest runtime. So I went through all the Game of Thrones, or what they're actually called, Song of Ice and Fire books at that time, and that was because the runtime was like 50 hours per book, 60 hours per book. So I was actively demotivated from starting a smaller series because I only had so many credits per month. It had to last me as long as possible during that time. But yeah, I just want more accessible audiobooks, okay? So I can get back into that hobby. Though, there's just so much content in the world. How are you supposed to consume it all? Like, VTuber, like, even just... Okay, my general hobbies, like I said, I used to be hyper addicted to books, I would say, back in school. And that's because I just love stories. Any method of injecting stories into my veins were good. That's why nowadays I watch a lot of anime, I watch movies, I read manga all the time, I watch all this YouTube, I play so many video games, but a lot of that is just a medium for stories. I just love that sort of like fantasizing world that you can just think about. So, God, what am I even trying to say? I get so distracted now. So yeah, stories. I'm just addicted to stories as a whole. Oh gosh, this ice. And it's shifted through the years for what specific medium I have. But nowadays, I can't keep up. There's so much content out there. And then of course I spend like... I plan 6 hours for a game like this. Maybe it's my own fault. But when I started watching anime back in like 2015-ish, I thought I was going to catch up to every anime in existence that was quality. And I feel like I was close to that for a few years there. I was watching at an insane pace. And there was really only a couple shows coming out every season that were really worth watching. But now there's like 4+ anime every season that are really good. Like 2 of them probably quote unquote must watch. There's no way in hell I'm catching up to all that content unless I give up all my other hobbies. And that's just anime. Video games, like, I've been spending... a lot of my streams the last month have been playing Unicorn Overlord, which is a tactical RPG somewhat akin to Fire Emblem. Oh gosh. I don't like this ice, man. It's rough. It's akin to Fire Emblem. And like I said, it's been like most of a month. I have to have over like 35 hours into the game thus far. Maybe 40, I don't know. And it's gonna take me another like 2 weeks to finish this game. And there's just more and more stuff being released all the time that is interesting. Okay, it seems like with this ice, it really helps if you run away and reposition like that. Yeah, because it slides beyond you. Okay, I think we're good. I think we've figured out how this works. And then like Hades 2 came out. I played the shit out of that for a couple weeks. There's so much more to play in that when they update it again. I've been wanting for years to go back and play Kingdom Hearts, because back when I was a kid, I only had a DS, for consoles that had Kingdom Hearts games, and that was only like 2 of them. So I really need to go back and just play through all of Kingdom Hearts. Like, how are you supposed to keep up? That's like the reason why the dream, from my perspective, would be to become a streamer. Like that's the big reason I want it is well, for one, it's always fun to talk about your interests with other people. That opens up your opportunities there so much. I do like rambling. Like, oh shit. Ugh. Rambling is quite fun. But like just the sheer amount of content out there, the only way you can make a gap is if you're playing everything day in, day out. Okay. But we can make it through this, guys. Is this the Get It Twisted section from Northern Lions stream? I think it might be. Oh, wow. I can see why this is such a pain, though. Like, the ice is suffering. Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. No, no, no. Stop, stop, stop. Yeah, the ice is suffering, man. Yeah, there's so much content out there. We're never going to be able to consume it all. I mean, I'm super happy that stuff like anime and VTubers has become... Okay, anime has actually become kind of mainstream. VTubers, not so much, but it's still much larger than it was a few years ago. And that just gives you more people to connect with over the mediums, which is fantastic. Love doing that. But at the same time, now, I'm such a completionist at things that I just know I'm never going to finish everything out there for anime that I want to. Like, there has to be sacrifices. Okay, let's see. Oh gosh, this is brutal. See what we can do here. I'm gonna actually try to focus here because this is pain. It's ice. Oh, that doesn't work, man. Oh no. Oh no. You can do it, man. Oh no, no, stop. Don't, no. I thought we were getting it twisted. I thought our dreams would not be memes. That we can accomplish anything. You can watch every anime you want at the same time. You can finish your plan to watch list. You can roll that boulder. You can wake up every morning and fight the day. You can go to the gym once in every 2 months. You've got this, I believe. Yeah, Northern Lion is... It's so weird. Northern Lion, as a streamer, I think it was a couple years ago was when some of my friends introduced him to me. I was not that compelled by his stuff. I think it's because I was trying to watch... I used to pay attention to the gameplay, I'll say. Because I was into Super Auto Pets myself. And my experience elevated watching him so much more when I treated him as essentially a podcast. There's a lot of content creators out there that really, it's just... Their banter is so good, so on point. There's a clip channel called The Librarian of Laternio that I'll tune into pretty often when I want my Northern Lion fix. And it's just non-stop, like, half-hour, hour-long compilations of chatting, banter, forevermore. And you just end up treating it like a podcast, essentially. And like I said, that's a form of medium, form of media that is so different from the others, because you can consume it while you're working, while you're doing the laundry, while you're doing all these chores. So yeah, now I'm a big Northern Lion fan. I mean, it helps also that like my favorite VTuber was a fan of him too. Fauna, makes references to NL on occasion. Come back. God, I hate this section, dude. Oh, no. Please stop, please stop, please stop. Ah, shit. Dude, this ice is pain. No, no, sprint faster. You fool. Please stop on that. Oh, shit, it's not doing it. It's not doing it. How far must we fall before we can rise? Oh, no. Does it balance there perfectly? Please tell me it balances. Please tell me that was perfectly centered. And they were gracious gods who created this game. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dev, for allowing that to exist. Yeah, this ice section is brutal, man. We're gonna have to focus up a bit. Let me double check, make sure your chat's still loading. Yep. Yeah, the music resets each time you exit. Like when you alt tab. That's rough. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, we're pushing back up here. Okay, what was I talking about? Content being everywhere, so much. There's just so many options. We're never going to be able to consume it all unless you become a professional streamer. So that's why so many people, I think, have that dream. They just want to pursue what they enjoy in life. And that's what so many content creators can do. They turn their hobby into something they can make money out of and meet new people over. So that's why it's always sort of a little goal that would be very unlikely, but still something worth working towards. Because how else are you going to be able to play all the games you want, right? Like even like esports pros, they have to grind one game all the time. That doesn't sound that fun to me. I was more interested in that back in the day when I was like hard grinding Hearthstone and League of Legends and all that. But I've seen now that it's very easy to get burnt out on something once you've played thousands of hours of it. What I need is more variety. I've moved to a different era of gaming for myself. Because, like I said, I used to be really into those sort of competitive online games where you can just play infinite repetitions over and over again. But now, like, part of the reason I even started streaming was to force myself into playing more solo player games. Because then you get a whole new experience, a whole new story. And I feel like that's more of a net positive than grinding out Diamond Elo for League of Legends. Because that has very little value outside of people that specifically play and watch League of Legends. And now that I've burnt out of it, it's like, hey, I used to be Diamond 4 back when that was like top 2% of League of Legends players. What value does that have now? Sure, I can banter about League with people, plenty, if they're into League. But maybe it would have been better if I'd played 100 more games and could have talked with my friends about Kingdom Hearts and Tales of Vesperia and a bunch of other games that are on my list to get to eventually that who knows if we ever will. All because Young Zerzan was hard grinding League of Legends. You fool! Nah, it was still fun back then. No shade against people that enjoy that. Because I very much did, at the time. Okay, this is the hard part again. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back now, bring it back. We can't. So yeah, no shade against you if you love those sort of grindy games, but I'm shifting my own, like, mental space and direction towards trying to consume more new things. Because otherwise I'll never get around to it. And I guess back then also, it felt like time was infinite. That you would get around to everything you wanted to do eventually. You were still in school. You were still in high school. You could do Like, you could spend 12 hours on League of Legends and not feel bad about wasting your time. Now, it's like, I'm fortunate if I can stream, like, if there's enough time for me to stream for 3 hours in a day, and then if I play every single day Unicorn Overlord for 3 hours, that's gonna take, like, 3 weeks at least to finish. If everything works out perfectly. So yeah, we no longer have that infinite time of our youth. I'm still youthful. What are we talking about? Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Youthful enough. Being 27 is wild. Thinking about that. Oh gosh. No, come back. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Just a little bit at a time. We can just get up this ramp, because this is brutal. Okay, do we got this? Do we got this? Okay, we're on the ramp. So yeah, now I'm just trying to put more time into other games, other things. Oh no. Because then, yeah, I can share those experiences with more people, experience more stories. And I got all my stories from books back in the day, but there's a lot more to consume now. It is just insane how much good stuff is out there. Like, even live adaptation stuff is getting better. Like, I think people have been enjoying Fallout. There was, like, the Witcher show. There was... I swear there was more. People said the One Piece live action was good. Who actually knows? I need to just read One Piece, honestly, at some point. Where am I going to find time for 1,000 chapters? Well, I'll have to play less League of Legends, less Dead by Daylight. Okay. And instead put all my time into incredible games like Sisyphus, where it tests your mental, and you can eventually work your way up that hill. Get it twisted. You too can stop grinding League of Legends and make something of yourself. Get a... gosh. Work every day and still game on the side. No. Pain, dude. Yeah, this ramp is suffering. No wonder this is where the inspirational quote occurred. Because it really breaks down your mind a bit. Well, at least there are these to help grab on the way down. Last time, I guess it didn't help much because we kind of just launched straight through the middle across the edge. Okay, one moment. Let me respond to someone. Okay, keep on. Pain, suffering, dropping my phone. Okay, back on up to the top of this mountain. So many things, you lose progress, but you have to keep trying and you'll get over that hump eventually. Or you will break down and cry and quit the game forever. No pressure. Okay, what else do we want to chatter on about? Anything else cool happening as of late? Well, I guess I could talk a little bit about a couple weekends ago. Was it just one weekend ago? Time is weird. Okay. Ended up going to Anime Central, the anime convention. I've been there now for like 3 years in a row. It's really the only con I end up going to often. Well, it's the only con I've been to, period, honestly. I'd like to go to more, but it's just hard in this section of the country to find other opportunities. I guess I shouldn't complain too much, though, because I'm sure there are people across the world in other countries that likely have it way rougher. Like, just being in the US in general, there's so much population, so many places you can travel to rather simply, that really shouldn't complain about not having options. But still. So yeah, I ended up going to Anime Central. I was a little bit disappointed that there wasn't more VTuber content this year. It's so weird because 2 years ago was an incredible year. They had Demon Dice as a musician, which was someone I knew of, and was able to watch her get a signed poster. It was super awesome experience. And then they also had a meet and greet with 2 people from Hololive. I believe it was Gura and Bales. And that was a lot of fun too. And that kind of set my expectation for the future. Like, hey, we'll be able to see more and more VTuber stuff here, because VTubers were just starting to get big at that point, I felt. So I was so ready to see more of that moving forward, but sadly, I haven't really had VTubers that I knew of show up since then. This year, the only real VTuber they had was Ayami Sensei, I believe. She's an artist. She drew the, I believe she's the artist for a lot of different VTubers, like Mel from Hololive was one. I can't remember her other name, but and then just some other ones that sadly all people I don't really follow. If anyone was a big fan of Ayami, I'm like super awesome, I'm sure, to be able to see her there. So that was still a good guest. It's like, why not more? VTubing is huge now. I'm not, but as a whole, VTubing is. Okay, let's focus up. I think this is further than we've ever got. If we just focus, we can accomplish anything. We can accomplish our goals. Get it twisted. Not your ankle, but your dreams. Just keep moving on. Do all the micro you can, and eventually you will make it through to the other side and be incredibly joyous that you are a badass and can get past such horrific struggles. Okay. Okay, time for a mental breath. Oh god, that really was rough. Okay, keep on keeping on. Woo! We really managed. That's impressive. Where to now? This is a new, kind of odd how uneven this ground is. So it's very different from the ice. The ice was, oh my god, the ice would hurt. Oh no, another long plank we have to go along, probably, but I mean, as long as we have better control than the ice, maybe we'll be fine. Okay, what was I talking about? I was talking about Anime Central. Like I said, a lot of fun. I always enjoy the Artist Alley. It's nice seeing people there. But I was hoping there would be more VTuber-centric things. It's a hobby I'd love to just meet more people that are involved with it. But yeah, like where else am I gonna go when there's no other conventions that I really know of a large size within this entire section of the country. I don't really have the money to travel to California for all these crazy big ones that they have back to back to back over there. Or the time off work. Let's slow down a bit here. Wait, we didn't even have to do this, dude. What the heck? Why were we trying to push across that? And you could just go beside. But yeah, so it'd be nice if in the future they add more offerings of Vtubers, because I'm a big fan and I'd like to see more of that. I was a little bit heartbroken. Like I said, Ayami Sensei was there. And secretly, she also had a panel with Mint Phantom. One of the VTubers that I actually would have loved to see. Sadly, I did not know the second panel with Ayami was happening. I only attended the first live drawing one. So I missed out on seeing Mint Phantom's kind of unofficial first panel at a con. So, but oh well, like it's my own fault, kinda. I should have looked at the schedule more closely. But hey, you keep moving on. I'm sure there will be future opportunities to see other VTubers that I idolize and very much like. And I really hope that Anime Central actually does put in more offerings in the upcoming months, or years, I mean. Maybe I need to submit requests every, like, every 2 weeks. Like, hey, can you please have more VTubers next year? Such a shame that you didn't. Apart from that, yeah, went to Artist Alley. That's always a lot of fun. I do wish it was a bit less crowded. But I got a lot of merch. In fact, did I post about that on Twitter? I think I posted about it on Twitter. So if you're interested, go on over there and check it out. Got a lot of cool charms. Cool other things. We were risking it a little bit there, but okay, anything else at the con? There's also like a cosplay area that I did stop by a few times to see like all the HoloLive cosplays and just some of the other big ones that were meeting. Like I think there was Honkai Star Rail and Genshin Impact, stuff like that. But I stopped by a few times just to see the cosplay. I just wish that area was a little quieter. It's like a very, very echoey room. Same with the gaming section. Like, the audio in there is awful. So if you want to, like, I thought that would have been a great place to go and chat to people that are interested in the same type of stuff as I am. So I was really looking forward to that opportunity, and then I go there and it's just so difficult to hear anyone. So it really like cuts down on that opportunity to meet people of similar interest there. Like, maybe I need to look into smaller cons in my area, see if there are any, because that's the rough part. Like, this was in Chicago, Anime Central, so there's people coming from all over the country, or all over the Midwest at least. So even if you meet someone, like, they probably aren't going to be that closely located to you. I mean, I still wanted to like try and make acquaintances maybe, but it's so hard. Like I said, the environment there does not suit it very much. Like next time I go to that con, maybe I just need to stand around in the opening area with merch of the stuff I'm interested in, see if people come up to me, because that happened like twice. But if you try to talk to anyone remotely close to the Artist Alley or the cosplay area or the gaming area, it's so loud and the Artist Alley is so crowded that you just have no opportunity. Even the like the main show floor where companies pay for booth space, like that gets crowded and loud enough that it's a bit hard, depending on where you're at. Basically, I just want easier ways to meet people of similar interests. Why can't it be easier, man? Why can't there just be like I mean, hell, there's like there's dating apps and quote unquote friend finding apps, but like they don't I want one that works, okay? I want one that actually narrows down to people of similar interests actually in your area and that people can trust because it's so hard to find that. Um, Part of the reason I've heard like the current era doesn't have many so-called third places. I can't remember which it's called. Um, and those are locations where you just go out to meet people that you don't already know. You know, places like bars, places like a skating rink, the mall. What is happening here? I do not understand our movement on this. This is like subdivided into different materials on the, like, the ground is subdivided into sections, and each time you get to a new one, you pause. But yeah, like third spaces are just not around anywhere close to what they used to be. So there's nowhere for the current generations to go out and meet someone that they aren't already, they wouldn't normally come into contact with. Because that's what I want so much, is just more people of the same interests to hang out with, talk to. And I'm very glad that I still have some good close friends from university, because that felt like one of the only times it was possible to meet people like that. It felt very reasonable to do so, because there were like clubs, school clubs you could go to, like the anime club, for example, the gaming club for another, that I did meet quite a few different people. But like, where do you go for that as an adult? Or someone that's not paying for university? Like, it's hard. I'm so thankful that I found people there, because it's been such a, I don't know where to go now, I guess, for that type of thing. And then you kind of fall into the rabbit hole of watching content creators a bunch. It's like, oh, I'd get along with this person great. They're very entertaining and fun, but like, you're never going to meet them. You're never going to directly converse with them on an equal basis, and you shouldn't expect to, in most cases there. So I don't know, man. Our world is ever changing, and it's becoming like we're the first generation that's had to deal with some of these problems. So you kind of just have to do your best and keep pushing the boulder up the endless ramp. And maybe you'll get there someday. Who knows? Just have good luck. Because as a ex-Hearthstone player, I know that RNG is definitely skill. Just get lucky. It's that easy. As a gacha player, just have good luck. It'd be nice if, yeah, if there was just an easier way to, a good place to just go to. Like, I've heard like some larger cities and stuff. Sadly, I'm in a pretty small town type area. Some of the larger cities have actual like themed bars and stuff that's around gaming or around stuff like that. Oh, what I would give to be able to go somewhere like that to meet people in my actual area. But even the like mid-sized cities that are kind of close by, I don't think they often have stuff of the right niches that I am into. Which is funny because like I have a lot of different weeb gamer-esque hobbies, I guess. They're like really, I'm into VTubers, I'm into anime, I'm into manga, I'm into games. So they're niche, but at the same time, I'm interested in so many of them that you think there'd be something available. Maybe at some point. Okay, yeah, that was a really weird area because you kind of just get stuck between these zones, but there weren't actual like major obstacles. Here, 1 second. I'm gonna open the door here because it's getting really toasty in my room. It just cold. Okay, there we go. Oh, were we sliding down? Is that what this does? Is it every, like... Okay. Now I understand. This material, every 5 to 10 seconds or so, it just slides you back a little bit. So it's like on a delay. When we were trying to constantly go up, I thought it was like the gaps between the sections of the floor. That was not the case. But yeah, anyways, the convention I went to, Anime Central, like I said, I just wish there were more opportunities like that. And the ones that are there, I wish they had more conducive environments to like meet and talk to new people. Because you can definitely do it. I probably need to be a bit more assertive or look out specifically for that thing. It has to be a goal at the time that I am setting up for success. But it's so hard when, like I said, it's so crowded and so loud in many areas that you can't even start a proper conversation with someone that maybe is wearing something, merch of the same stuff you're interested in. And it's like, it's pretty hard to be like, hey, that's a cool thing. Want to go somewhere else entirely to chat about it? Yeah, not so much. Like, if you could just stay there and it was actually reasonable, like a reasonable volume level. But maybe that's just a skill issue on my part. I'm not the best with like very loud areas, like a dull roar in the background. It's a pain. It gets to me pretty quick. Not being able to hear someone, like, it just gets me off my my flow. Not that I'm the best at banter anyway. The best conversationalist as a whole. First, I think once I get to know someone, or once we have an established shared interest, I don't think I'm horrible at chatting. But yeah, I'm not like great on a first impression, I think. Okay, walk here and hold on. Let's see, anything else cool at the con? I do always really love seeing cosplay. Like, I need to try that myself someday. It's just one of those things. I have so many hobbies, so many things I'm interested in. Taking a bunch of time, because I'd want it to be high quality is part of the problem. I don't want to like half-ass it. So I was kind of thinking like, what if I made a Vesper Noir cosplay and went, is that like, that would be badass. But the amount of time extra it would take, and then I have so many other hobbies and responsibilities to deal with that I wasn't sure how it'd go. But at some point, like, you just need to commit, right? I need to get more serious about it, like, because you need to be getting ready for that months and months in advance. Or I need to just settle for, hey, I just have money here. Let's just buy or commission something online that would be cool. That mostly just needs, yeah, time and money. Like, I need to figure it out in advance and just pay for it. So then maybe, hey, like, that'd be a great conversation starter, right? Let's shimmy this on over to the left. You have a lot of control on this wooden type of floor, it seems. Ooh, yeah, cool cosplays there. I think some of my favorite ones, like I said, I went to the HoloLive specific cosplay meetup just to watch. Oh shit. So there are landmines, dude. Oh, god damn it. Do we just run ahead and clear out all the landmines? Cheese it? I think maybe we do. That's kind of funny, but we just clear the center path. What? How do these work? If we touch them, do they launch? I don't think it is. Maybe it's only if the boulder touches that does it go off. Oh my gosh, there's so much to go. Okay, well, we cleared some of the early stuff here. Let's just head back. We aren't gonna 100% cheese it, but that's fine. Oh my god, do these respawn? I feel like I would have cleared these out earlier if they were here, so these might respawn. They might have countered me. Oh no. Well, let's try to roll on up. What was I saying? Yeah, anime, convention. Just traveling back and forth is such a pain for that, though. I really hope at some point we can get a hotel that's actually like walking distance, because that would lower the commitment to traveling back and forth so much. Because as it is, like, we have to drive. This time was so much better than some previous years I've gone. Previously, I just like drove up there from really far away for a day. For a day or two. Whereas this time we were at a hotel like 5 minutes away, so things went like we still had to drive, but it was like 5 to 10 minutes. It's just painful that you have to pay like $15 for parking. I mean, that's one of the big saving graces of living in like small town area. The closest cities, like, they aren't so big that you have to pay egregious amounts for every bit of parking available, and you aren't constantly like gridlocked, unable to move forward. Oh, that's the big reason why I'm not really that interested in living in a city, unless I, you know, got shit tons of money someday to where I just wouldn't have to care about ever like having ends meet. Like parking, it's too much of a headache, man, and driving. I guess if I ended up at a place that had like excellent public transport, do the cannons not fire at all? Like, I'm so scared that they're just gonna launch me at some point here. But it seems like they don't react even when you shove the boulder into it. Like, I could maybe handle a small city, like, in my area, sure. But, like, major big cities, they'd have to have great public transport. It scares me so much to see some of the people out in, so many content creators are out in, California. Those prices are terrifying. The fact that people, like, Uber everywhere as well, like, because they just can't drive. Like, it's so stressful to drive, but then I would never want to trust the person driving the Uber. I'm like a bit of a control freak, I guess, that I'm not a fan of Ubering. I want to have that control over my own safety, even though, you know, other people on the road can fuck it up. And that's, I guess, what's so scary about the cities is there's so much more likelihood of people around you fucking things up for you. Okay, we actually managed to make it through the minefield without any major mishaps, which is good. Now we got a bunch of spring things trying to knock us. Oh, please don't. Those hammers scare me, even though they're moving incredibly slowly. I would not be surprised if they just send stuff flying. Okay, we're back to a rather unusual surface here. Should be able to make it through this, right? Yep. Try to turn onto this ramp. This is kind of difficult, actually. Oh no. Please don't. What the hell? Okay, well that's like bullshit. Physics are not a thing. They just, You're kidding me, man. You're kidding me. Like that, they have that, just launch it so ridiculously far. Please stop. Please stop. Dude, we're so cooked. We're going so far back. Well, we're meandering back down. We'll get there someday, right? Oh, I'm so annoyed that the hammer there did that. Oh. Guess we have to be even more hyper cautious around those than I thought. I mean, I did mention it, right? I said, even though this hammer is moving ridiculously slow, it's probably going to send it way further than you would ever expect. It's so funny. I was watching Fauna. Like I said, she played this game without the boulder. Very funny gimmick to do. It still took her a whole hour to get to the top. So yeah, this is not exactly a fast and easy game. Sisyphean effort. We've got this. Oh my gosh. I'm just so mad that didn't feel earned to launch all the way back, but well, now we know for next time, right? Rolling, rolling, rolling up the hill we're rolling. Let's see, I was talking about cities and how garbage transportation can be. Ugh. Yeah, that's the nice thing living small town, close to small cities. I can't, I guess I wouldn't really know unless I moved to like a metropolis whether I would adjust to it and like it or not. The only reason I think I would ever do that would be if there were people at those locations that, like, I had a significant other or something that lived in a city or had to live in, wanted to live in a city. Or if we did blow up and I had a bunch of like online friends that all lived in the same general area and I could move closer to them, then I would give it a chance. But yeah, it's as I am now, whatever. Cheap cost of living is a huge thing. It's so nice being able to have my own place here. It like deals with a lot of possible other concerns in life if you can just have your own spot. But yeah, I'm not interested really in moving currently at this phase of my life, unless something specific comes up that would massively, you know, benefit me. Yeah, I remember like my mom, she had someone back at her old work who moved to California, and he like sold his current place and everything to go there, and then he came back like a year later having whittled away so much money because he wasn't able to find work out there that it's like his quality of living went down after he came back because it ate up so much money being out there. So the only time I'd ever even considered moving to somewhere with huge cost of living, I'd have to have a job that would like significantly cover that and improve my life beyond that. Or like I said, I'd have to have people that I want to be close to that live out there. I mean, but then they have stuff like all these anime and VTuber cons out there, right? They have so many opportunities. That would be sick. Like that's the big reason that would be sick to live out there, just so you could go to all these major events of all the hobbies I'm into and interested in. But c'est la vie, maybe it wasn't meant to be. Okay, we're back up here already. Not too bad. You just have to avoid stuff like that. Yeah, these mines respawn, so they knew some punk like me would try and destroy every mine before rolling the boulder up the hill. It had kind of worked at the previous red barrel spot, so I was hoping it would work for this again, but not the case. Anything else exciting going on in life? I mean, for me, it's just been work. As I've said, I work at a high school in the area, and whew, I work in computer technology, so I just fix devices, help people troubleshoot, tell them to turn their computer off and on a lot. And the job isn't that... Oh, really? The job isn't really challenging at all, but I like that there's variety. Most days there's different tasks. It's not the same pattern every single day. I think I've always enjoyed problem solving. Like in math, I always liked word problems because it was sort of like a puzzle to figure out. So a lot of what tech support is yeah, problem solving, and like trial and error, testing possible solutions. So I think that's part of why I gravitated towards this job. I also just like computers in general. So many of my greatest joys, like video games, center around computers. So why I lean more towards that. I was so scared there. We were getting really close to that mine, but we're okay. We're just rolling on through. Finding our way up to the top. But yeah, IT. But yeah, I like that sort of troubleshooting feeling. And in general, I think I like interacting with students as well. It can be hard because when a lot of what I deal with is computer issues, sadly, the people you deal with most are the students that don't take proper care of their devices, or they like intentionally break things, or we have to do restrictions and lockdowns on their computer because they're misbehaving. So that's kind of the negative. I don't often get to deal with the, the happier, more easy to influence students. Fun to interact with ones. You're kidding me. Please tell me there's no Please tell me you stop somewhere. I'm so mad at myself for instantly getting screwed over by the hammer. Like, the whole reason we lost last time was the hammers being really strong even when you barely touch. Dude, why would they put a mine there of all places? That's cruel. You put the things that grab the ball and then you put a mine right in front of it so you have hope, and then it gets crushed instantly. Oh, that's such a shame. Yeah, I think we're like going all the way back, unless we get stupid lucky here and it gets hung up on something. Yeah, it's not happening, dude. It's rolling all the way back down. Please don't go into the ice area. Yeah, this is going further than last time. Oh, my heart, dude. I can't take it. Please stop right there. Oh, no. Oh. Yeah, like I said, a lot of the students I end up dealing with are not the ones that are happy to see you. But then, a year and a half ago, I started coaching the esports team for the school. So those are kids that are actually happy to see me because we basically get to play video games after school. And they get to meet other kids of similar interests. At least we stopped here before we got to the ice. It looks like this area does have a lot of boxes that should help you stop before it gets too far down. But yeah, so the esports kids, Like I'm really happy. Like it's added a decent amount of extra fulfillment to my day that, you know, I'm providing a service for all these kids. Like back if I had an esports team in high school, I would have been so happy. I could have made so many friends of similar interest there. I could have looked more to pursue esports at college if I'd had a bit more experience like in school with it. I mean, I still did that, but like if I had that extra time, oh, who knows what I would have been doing now, man. Probably gaming still. I mean, hey, that's what I'm doing right now. So, but maybe I would have been even better. But yeah, esports. So yeah, I've been happy to provide that opportunity I never had to the kids. So I think that's added a decent amount of like self-fulfillment this last year. Even though I feel like there's so much more I could do with the program. Like we aren't streaming the games currently. I need to do a setup for that at some point. What else? Streaming, you know, uniforms, badges, announcing stuff more often. Like there's so much more that could be done, but at least I'm giving them the opportunity for something. And when you're stuck in a small town, like it can be hard to find, you know, a group of people with similar interests and stuff to do, you know, after school. Like what are you gonna do? Just walk around town, go to the park? The tiny little dinky park? There's nothing to do anywhere. You're just gonna go home and play games alone. So the fact that I've created that place for them to go, meet new people, hang out with new friends, I'm really happy that has worked out as it has up to now. And I'll just keep doing my best to keep that there. Like, also, it's just thinking back to when I was in school. I was in so many extracurriculars after school. I was in sports. I was in Science Olympiad, which was like a academic science team. I was in band. I was in more sports. What did I not get involved in? Hell, I was even in dance. That's a weird factoid that people would not think about. There's like a small quote-unquote dance school in the town, and you would have a class like once a week and prepare for a final like group routine at the end of the year. And I was in that all the way through high school, which is crazy. Yeah, not something most people expect of me. It's one of those things I need to get serious about applying for VTuber stuff, because it's just kind of funny. All these past things I've had in my life, like I was really into art for a bit, I was into music, like I have so many interests. Need to drink more water. I have so many interests, and they all kind of came together in VTubing. I love art, I love anime, I love music. I even, like I said, I was dancing. I think the genre, they said it was like street jazz or something, was what the classes I was taking at the time. But like I even did dance at some point. Like that can fit into a lot of the stuff the big VTuber agencies do. I wish so much that I had the opportunity to like learn singing, train singing at some point. Because yeah, I really like music and songs. And of course gaming. I've been highly ranked at many different video games. Hearthstone back in the day, the highest I ever got was like top 300 North America for one season. League of Legends, I got up to top 2% of North America. I feel like I'm really good at Dead by Daylight now, But sadly, there's not a proper ranking system for that. Legends of Runeterra, I got up to Masters. Teamfight Tactics, I got up to Diamond 1 at some point early on. I'm just really good at like grasping games quickly. So I feel like that would work really well for VTubing and streaming, because that's a lot of what they do. I also just have the mental strength to attempt these sort of games. Even without, I mean, I'm sure it's way more fun when you have hundreds of chatters, like, giving you stuff to bounce off of. That has to be an interesting experience. I guess I'll never know how I would deal with that unless it happens someday. Fingers crossed. It could happen. Probably won't, but you know, hey, you gotta keep trying, keep pushing that boulder up the hill. Otherwise, it definitely won't. One moment. Dude, why does it reset the music every time? That is so weird. Oh, it even changes the track. It flips between the ones available. Unusual. Rollin', rollin', rollin'. Yeah. I really hope this summer that I manage to do some of the bigger projects I've been wanting to do for a while. Like, I need to edit videos. Because you're so much more likely to get people interested if you have a short video to pull someone in instead of just clicking on a random live stream. There's so many like streams I've had that I wanted to go back and edit, but it's a very time-consuming thing. And it's a different skill set entirely. Okay. So I did a little bit for DBD because I know Dead by Daylight very well. But there's some games like Unicorn Overlord where I'd love to make videos on that. Like just an overall playthrough, cut it down. Because I would want to watch like a Unicorn Overlord playthrough if it was an hour long. But the amount of time it takes to edit it down to that is crazy. Because you're going through like 60 hours of footage and cutting out all the dead parts. So that's like, it's so much easier for me to just turn on the stream and play a game and pray it works out. It's way less likely. So that's sort of the, it's like I'm taking the path that makes me feel like I'm doing something, even though it's nowhere close to like the high effort or efficient route. It's one of those weird things, I guess. Like, because just hopping on stream is like very, very easy, very low effort. But yeah, sitting down and editing 10 hours of VODs into consumable content, something I'm not as experienced at, and that's just a daunting task. Because then you also see like the streaming as it's going on. It's like, well, it's not working right now. People aren't showing up. Like you feel that just a little bit of disappointment. But if you spend 20 hours on a video that gets almost no views, then that feels a lot worse. But same time, you just have to like do it. Just try the thing out more, see if it works. Sometimes you shouldn't do the Sisyphean thing of like the brute force, same thing every day. Turn on the stream, push the boulder up the hill. Like, maybe we could go for some more creative solutions. And there's just some basic tasks I really need to do, like a channel trailer or something, just to let people get to know me a little bit. Because, of course, I know me very well. The things I think people could potentially like about my stream are my gameplay, me being into anime, me being into Vtubers, stuff like that. Some of the like specific game achievements I've done in the past, but like people don't know that unless they happen to tune in and stay for a long time, and then they get drip fed that over time, or they have to directly ask. No, I should have a channel trailer that'll just tell them that. They're like, hey, this guy's kind of interesting. I'll just go to his channel. I mean, that's the reason I think quote unquote debut streams can be nice in the VTuber sphere. There's like good and bad things. The good thing is people get introduced to a variety of the stuff you're interested in off the bat, so they get a feel for your character. The bad thing is so many people want to spend forever preparing for a debut that they never actually go and click live for the first time. So I kind of went the opposite route. I'm like, screw it. I'm just gonna go stream, see how it goes, make sure I even like this, which I do. Like, I like talking aloud. I think I like hearing my own voice. It's kind of a, not, you know, the, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Dude, you're kidding me. I was so close to saving that. I'm so mad. Please land right in the middle of the cannons. Ugh. No, dude. I hate this area, dude. So bad. It's gonna get launched. I did not expect the bot with the hammers to be so brutal, but kidding me. Like, how is it managing? Like, this area was very specifically set up to not be a safe zone, I think. Like, the bombs here right in front of these cups to catch, it's like, it's just to give you false hope. It hasn't been caught on at any of the 3 times we've been launched backwards from this, which is pain. Pain and suffering. But like I said, yeah, I should do a channel trailer. Seems like it would be a good idea, because then people could just know, hey, this guy shares similar interests from me. I should stay around and check it out. I've wanted to spend enough time on doing like a scuffed song cover to where I can just prove, hey, I can do this thing. It's daunting because I have no idea what all goes into that, and I'm not really willing to spend money on having people edit it. So it'd just be something like entirely on my own. I want to make videos centered or streams centered around just directly anime. Like doing a top 5, my top 10 anime of all time, or top 5 short series that should get you into anime. Just videos like that, like, because right now all I'm doing is me playing video games, which sure, that's wildly successful across the world. You know, so many content creators focus primarily on playing video games. That's like the core strength of the stream usually, or like a founding pillar. Is that the phrase? There's something else, I think. A foundational pillar. That's what I was going for. It's like a foundational pillar of the stream is that they go and play games. But oftentimes what draws you into that person isn't that they're just playing games. It was their other interests that lined up with yours that got you into the person, and then you also enjoy watching them play games. Otherwise, you just have to be like really cracked at video games, which, hey, I mean, I'd say I'm pretty good. Thus far, this stream maybe says otherwise, but how many times are we gonna fall down? But but yeah, no, the other interests are a big thing of what gets someone into your character, your head. So like, for example, Ina of Hollow Live, she was one of the first VTubers I got really into. And a large part of that was because she was an artist as well. I really liked her art. And I was at that point in time way more invested in art than I am now. She also was into several gacha games I was interested in. She, on her like debut, she also listed a bunch of anime she liked, and I'm like, hey, I like that stuff too. So I need to show people more of my interests, so if they want to get invested, they can. Because just generic video gamer is not really, I mean, especially when you're playing variety. Because some people, like, if I was going back to just grinding Dead by Daylight every day and I was really, really good, then you pull in people that like that gameplay a lot. People that are fans of DBD follow a bunch of DBD specific content creators, and there's definitely a niche for that. But like I said, a lot of the reason I started streaming here is I wanted to play more games, more variety of games. And if you're going to be playing variety, then it's more your personality and vibes and interests that are what I think probably draws people to you more. But who knows? This is, you know, a 34 subscriber YouTuber saying this right now. I don't actually know any of this bullshit. Instead, we're just doing our best, rolling the boulder up the hill, both in reality and metaphorically. So where to next? Any other topics to banter about for a while? Oh yeah, like I said, different types of content I want to try out. I also need to do like cooking video. If you are into VTubers as a whole, not sure if you've ever heard of Onigiri. She's a purple Oni VTuber that streams just her cooking all sorts of things, often with a guest. And the big reason I really liked her stream was it's just so much higher quality than a lot of the other cooking streams I've seen from VTubers. A lot of the others just do like a hand cam and they just pin their image in the bottom corner. It's not moving or anything. Her setup, she has a whole camera setup that's like green screened out, and she has her model actively moving where she's standing, and then you just see her like real hands because she's wearing gloves that are a different color. So like that's a VTuber that's actually made a really compelling cooking stream setup. And I mean, a huge part of why she's great as well is just all the collabs she's done with different people. She'll have like other major VTubers on and be like, oh, what is your go-to recipe for cooking? what should we cook today? And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I definitely recommend checking her out if not. But yeah, cooking stuff. Like I said, I have too many damn interests. And I should actually do that. Like I should try a little bit of all of it to see if I can manage to do similar things myself. So cooking, music. Like I really should try to sing some cover. I mean, gaming's the easy one. It's always the one I've been most into and the best at, I'd say. But just seeing those other types of content let people get to know you better. I've always wondered about as well rights to do stuff like song covers and all that. I was trying to look into what you have to do to have the rights to post a song cover. I'm still not certain, honestly. All the big ones, they have people cover the instrumental, so it's not the original recording of the instrumental, and then they do their own voice cover, and then they say down in the description like what they're covering by whose rights it is, and that's what they do. But I'm not certain you have to have a different, like, the hard part of that is getting someone that covers the original song in a non-copyrightable fashion. And maybe it still is, I don't know. It's just, oh god. Why did that come down at that timing? Do they just stay up there and do it occasionally, or did it sense me approaching? Okay, no, it's just a timed thing. That was horrifying. Oh, this is still horrifying. Get out of there, get out of there. No, 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 no. Damn it! No! No! We were doing so well this run. Please stop, please stop, please stop. These hammers, don't touch it. Oh! We're saved. Okay, we have to be really careful here, though. Oh, left, left, left. Oh, we made it. That was scary, dude. I did not think we had it. But yeah, what was it? I was ranting about various different types of content options. Oh, and like I really need to do something anime centered, because that's my other biggest hobby, biggest interest. I'm so interested in, like, if you've heard of Giguk, Garnt / Giguk, he's part of the podcast Trash Taste, where they talk about Japan stuff, sometimes anime, rarely, and just their lives in general. But he has a very anime-centric YouTube channel where he talks about, like, the big series coming out. Oh, no, 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 no. I almost did the same thing. And I really should try something akin to what he's done, because that's what, like, really interests me. He uploads sometimes on his secondary channel, like, anime of the season, what I'm watching, what I'm not, like what I'm giving 1 episode, 3 episode, must watch. Like, he gives a first reaction to anime of the season. That's what I'll say. And I'm into so many manga nowadays that I've honestly had, like, given most of the series a try before they come to anime. So I think I'd have a pretty good take on something similar if I just sat down and reacted to everything that was coming out in a season. I didn't realize my sprint was not toggled on. No wonder we've been going a bit slow for a while now. I'd like to react to that stuff more. Because I talked about it towards the start of the stream a lot of what I've currently been watching, but Spice and Wolf, currently. I'm very glad to see it back after all these years. I just wish they had a more menacing model for the wolf. The wolf transformation. My only real complaint. I really hope we get more Apothecary Diaries sometime, like, in the upcoming couple years. Because that was just an incredible adaptation that elevated the series so much. I guess I'll talk about that one more in length. Apothecary Diaries is a kind of character historical drama anime that takes place in ancient China, I believe. Centered around like the emperor's palace where all his consorts live. And the main character got like sold away to serve at the palace. She got like kidnapped and sold away there. So it's her trying to navigate like the palace politics, and she has a lot of knowledge from her father of her adoptive father of medicines, and I mean, because it's apothecary, it's medicines and plants and all that, and poisons a little bit. But then a lot of like strange things start happening around the palace, and it kind of turns into an episodic detective show almost. So if you like that sort of thing, the adaptation was just amazingly done for like the visual quality. Like I was reading the manga before it, and I enjoyed it well enough. I really like the characters, like they're very compelling. But the anime just elevated it to such a different level. Makes me very happy we're getting so much content nowadays that is not just the action stuff. Here, one moment, let me reload my chat to make sure. Okay, we're good. Still nothing's popping up. There's so many series. It's interesting because I got really into anime 2015-ish when I was back in university. And it's kind of interesting to look back at the number of series I have a general opinion on, but I don't remember the specifics because it's been long enough. Like, one of the first series I watched at the time was Full Metal Alchemist, the 2003 one, the 2003 series, and then there was also Brotherhood, which I watched very shortly after that. In my opinion on it was actually, I liked the tone of the original 2003 Full Metal Alchemist more. It was like darker, I felt. Darker, more down to earth. And then Brotherhood overall was the sequel slash remake-ish thing that continued on to finish the actual like story of the manga. And that one, of course, I think did a better job with the story because it wasn't anime original, obviously. And it also had better action scenes, but I missed that. I mean, it still has dark tones, obviously. That's part of the base story. But I felt more hopeless, more scared when watching the original one. Not really scared, just, yeah, that sort of hopeless feeling. That uneasiness, I guess. But yeah, I've said all this stuff about those two Full Metal Alchemist series, but I think I mostly just remember my opinions at that time. I don't actually remember a bunch of the events that happened. It's really a series I should go back and rewatch because I do not recall a lot of what occurred. Okay, now that looks like magma or something, like superheated rock. Ah, shit. Please tell me. Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's test this just to see. Okay, you can just take like one step and then you're like dabbing on the haters. Okay, I guess not quite. That's more of a like thriller arm movement. I mean, we knew it was bad. We were trying to avoid it, but best to know exactly what will happen. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist. But it's one of those things. Maybe I'd have a very different opinion nowadays. Because like I said, I think I'm mostly remembering my opinion and not the actual content of the series. So it'd be a really good one to go back and rewatch. That actually brings me back to very recently, I was trying to watch... Me and my mom got together to rewatch Lord of the Rings. And when I watched the first movie... Damn it, dude. This is kind of rough. I think you can't turn as much on these boards as I thought you could. So I need to adjust my senses on that. Like, I need to just realize I can't turn as sharply as I believe I could. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Same with this. Is it the same as this? Why am I struggling so much now all of a sudden? But Lord of the Rings, yeah, we went back to watch that. And I wasn't nearly as into the first movie as I remember. Now that's actually one that I remember a lot of the plot. So it was the other stuff, just the tone and the pacing felt a bit weird. But it's like back in the day when I watched Lord of the Rings, that movie series, I literally considered it my favorite movie series of all time. So I don't know if my taste has changed, or maybe it's just the first movie is a lot of slow setup, and now that I already know the setup, it's not that compelling to me. I need to watch the second and third movie here to actually get a proper opinion again of how I feel about it. Yeah, this is a really weird area. I don't know why it, like... Does it behave like ice? I'm not sure. Or like a wet surface? But it just makes me wonder how many series I've watched over the years that I would have completely different opinions now if I went back and rewatched them. My big anime example for this is Your Lie in April. I wonder when that released. I feel like it might have been 2012-ish. I didn't, like I said, I didn't watch anime until 2015, so it was just one of the early ones I watched. When I first watched that, it's about someone with a really bad disease that's likely to kill them. And a boy that falls in love with her. And it's also like got a lot of music. Am I able to do anything here? Oh no. Oh shit, dude. Recovering on this is... Oh no, 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 no. Okay, thank God it stopped. This is like a very scary place to mess up because it does not get caught anywhere. And you can't catch up easily because of the lava. Anyways, yeah, it was a series that had a lot of music. The main guy was a pianist. He was like in piano competitions and all that. And planning to go into a career on it, I think, eventually. But he was high school age, so... Alright, this is brutal. I was having fun early on, but oh my god, some of this stuff is getting rough. Like the controls, I said I really liked them early on, but some of these other surfaces really make it hard to maneuver. And I'm not like adjusted to how they feel yet. But okay, yeah, anyways. How many times am I going to restart this explanation of what Your Lie in April is? Okay. Sad pianist boy falls in love with girl that sings pretty. But she has a serious disease, and will they, won't they? The first time I watched it, I was very touched. Like the emotional beats just really struck a chord with me. I think I was in a pretty depressive state around that time, so I was very emotionally vulnerable. So I ended up really enjoying that anime. like I gave it a 10 out of 10 when I first watched it. Nowadays, if I try to go back and watch that again, like when I first tried to rewatch it, dude, it's just so impossible to like recover if you strip the angle even a little. When I tried to go back and watch it, it was just so melodramatic. They constantly do like internal monologue, which really, really got on my nerves. Yet they were barely like talking to each other. It's one of those frustrating romance tropes of not having good communication is like the biggest obstacle to two characters getting together, which really frustrating. So yeah, it had one of my least favorite tropes there. It had a bunch of internal monologue that didn't move the story along much. The actual ending plot resolution was kind of frustrating and not a like a good note to go out on. Like the resolution was just, yeah, it was frustrating. I swear there was one other thing I wanted to emphasize about it. Oh, and the musical performances. Like the music in that show is really good, really nice piano music. But in the performances, I hate it, dude. I hate it. It's so hard to recover. Oh no, we're going all the way down, are we? No. Please tell me it stops somewhere. The musical performances, they kept talking over them. It's so infuriating. Like, you'd have this beautiful piano piece, you get a third of the way through, and then some person would be like, oh my gosh, he is fluttering between this, and it's such a touching musical moment. Stuff like that. Oh my god, it got on my nerves so bad. It's like, just let me listen to the music. It's so good. If you want to add commentary, do it after the fact. Don't talk over the music. So yeah, that, oh, very infuriating. So when I went back and tried to rewatch that show, I dropped it all the way to like a 7, and that was because I had loved it so much the first time. I probably would have given it like a 6 if I were purely basing it off of my like second watch through. I've never like changed my mind so much on a single piece of media before, but that was wild. Like to do such a complete turnaround on how I felt about a series. And yeah, I'm like, I don't know if it was just because I was emotionally vulnerable at the time, or because I had barely watched any anime before, like the medium. I was new to the medium. It could have been a bit of both. So yeah, it's weird to think about, like, would my opinion be the same on all this stuff? Now, for me, like I said, anime I got into when I was starting university. I can't imagine, like, if I'd started watching anime back in junior high or something, like another 10 years earlier, my opinions would be wildly, like, wrong, quote unquote. Like, I was in university, I did change somewhat as a person going through it. But I was an entirely different guy if I think back to my junior high school years. Completely different interests, all that. Yeah, it's just crazy to think how much your own opinion can change on things over time. Like, I'm wondering other things I really enjoyed in childhood that I may not so much anymore. Keep it up. Okay. Yeah, you just like slide so weird across these surfaces. Dude, I can't do it. I can't manage it. I'm so mad. Oh, it's so hard to recover on this one. Don't you dare launch off the edge or go over. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is such a long part. We actually got kind of close there, I think. Oh, it's brutal. Okay. Anyway. A deep breath. I'm trying to think if there's some games that I like adored as a child that I would probably not like so much today. Actually, how about cartoons? Are there cartoons I liked when I was young that I would hate today? I'm not sure, really. I was never into stuff like SpongeBob or any of those. Wasn't into Ed, Edd and Eddy. Wasn't. What was I actually into as a kid? Ah, no. I know the one. Johnny Test. I think I kind of liked that when I was a wee lad, and from what I've seen looking back on it, it was really, really stupid. Stuff that I still like, though, is like... It's funny looking back at a TV show like Phineas and Ferb. Or Adventure Time, I think actually had like compelling stuff. The Star Wars Clone Wars animated series, like that stuff you can appreciate at all ages, I think. Avatar: The Last Airbender. So who knows, if I went back and watched those again, maybe I wouldn't like them quite so much. I really need to give that Star Wars one a chance, Star Wars: The Clone Wars animated series. Because I loved that. That was my favorite thing in, like, I don't know if it was junior high, high school age. Not sure. Middle school. It's been so long. How am I to know? But I know they released more extra episodes eventually when it got, like, added to streaming to finish off the story. It's just one of those things. Like I need to go back and finish that some days. It was a huge part of my childhood. I adored that series. I should finish it off. But even if I went back to it now, it's like, how much of the story do I really remember? Would I feel the same about it if I rewatched it today? I don't know. And then we get back to the question I asked earlier in the stream of there's too much goddamn content everywhere to get through all of it. Because if I went back to rewatch Star Wars: The Clone Wars, would I have the time to play a modern classic like the Sisyphus game? This is such a strange, slippery slope. Like a lot of the control... Oh no, please don't. A lot of the controls here are just coming from like nudging left click, right click, and then trying to stay like even with the top. And you kind of just like glide across the ground. It's so weird. Now I like how I have more room to move than I did in the one ice ramp area, but this is so incredibly long that like one error and you lose 5 to 10 minutes of progress. Yeah, I do kind of like this music though. I guess I could talk on music for a bit, couldn't I? Oh, I used to be so much more into music. Hey, we made it past this area, thank goodness, for all this time. I used to be more into music back, like, shortly after high school and all that, I think. Ooh, that's scary. Is there a way that it won't launch us? Please don't launch me. Okay, we're okay. Oh, we're not okay. We're not okay. It's so over. It's so over. No, we're okay. It's fine. But yeah, I think high school was really the time I got more into music at the time. And a lot of it was like classic rock, indie rock, and then as I like was starting my first job, I was working somewhere in manufacturing. And that was a time where I listened to a bunch of music and I got more into electronic type stuff. I think also like my childhood interest in music really elevated when we got the game Guitar Hero. That's kind of funny. It shaped all my interests to this day. Playing Guitar Hero 3 way back then. My musical tastes were never the same. Go, go, go. But nowadays, like, I'd usually just be listening. Oh god, please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. Why is this so hard to stop? Can't stop, won't stop. No. Okay, well at least it got caught by the guard here. Let's see, what was I talking about? Musical stuff. But yeah, nowadays I would put on like a YouTube video in the background, just a long, like, lot of random talking in the background instead of turning on music, because I don't know. I want to be more distracted, I think. Like, sure, music is a distraction, but yeah, I think college actually was the last time I was really into it, because I would do my homework and like listen to the Made in Abyss soundtrack back then, because with it not having words I could understand or anything, I was able to like still do math and other like things that required actual in-depth thinking. Those are kind of annoying to get past, those cubes there, because they're a little bit too close together to just slide between. So yeah, just soundtracks, I guess, if I'm doing something that does require a lot of focus. But most things I do day to day do not require any focus at all. Like, it's almost automatic, or it's a bunch of repetitive, does this work, does this work, does this work, going down a checklist. So I'd prefer to be listening to Northern Lion banter about random bullshit, or learn about some weird thing in the gaming industry, or one of my favorites, Atriox Marketing Monday, where he just talks about like world events and changes in world finance, stuff like that. But he makes it funny. Like, I'll just turn those stuff on in the background. So music is kind of like faded away from me. I'm not as like up to date on it as I used to be. I say up to date, but as I mentioned earlier, I was like listening to classic rock most of the time back then. Yeah, nowadays it's mostly just like anime and VTuber music that I get exposed to. Which a lot of it's really good. Surprisingly, really good. Oh god. Please let me get there fast enough. We're good, we're good, we made it through that. Oh no, what the hell is this? Glowing gemstones, like... Oh my god, and what is this? Are we able to walk across to you? Okay, those seem relatively safe. Me walking into these doesn't do anything, but it would probably still launch the ball something fierce. At least they don't seem to explode, I guess, but unless they can tell what's the rock, what isn't. Anyway, music, yeah, it's like I'm really interested in, I want to be able to sing, dude, like, or perform. That would be so cool. I just don't know where to start with where to get better, other than like just do it. And there's so many other things going on all the time that it's kind of hard to do that on your own. I always question too, it's like, am I hearing myself correctly? Am I on key? Am I singing the right notes? I don't know. It's so hard to gauge it when it's your own voice for some reason. At least in my experience, my minimal experience. So let's wait for it to spin. Apart from that, yeah, I haven't really, I don't really listen to music much on the regular. I've tried to get back into it a little here recently. Yeah, it used to be a much bigger thing in my life. And some people are just listening, you know, non-stop music day in, day out, so. It can definitely be something that's very moving. And I do like the background music of this. It's just, sadly, they only have like 2 to 3 tracks. But it's kind of a banger. Speaking of music, it is interesting to think back to, again, like you just have so many more opportunities in school to try this stuff out. And I kind of wish I'd been, like, I was in a really small school, so you can still try out a lot of this stuff. But it just makes me wonder, what if I was at a larger school, larger city? Would there have been better opportunities to like actually get good at music? Like I said, I was part of like a dance program for a while. I don't think it was that good of one. Like, if these things were actually, it's so hard now that I want to pursue all these things. You don't have as much of the opportunity unless you have both time and money, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Would have been so cool if I could have done this back in the day, like in high school, and actually gotten demonstrably good at some of these skills that I'm interested in. But that has already passed, so you're kind of just doing stuff yourself and trying to look up YouTube tutorials, I guess. Or you pony up the money, which I don't really have, because, you know, paying for a car and a home and food is like everything in the bank. And you have the, you know, the tiny bit to go towards games here. So many cycles to wait on here, man. Really easy section, but yeah, a lot of just waiting on cycles. Bum, ba-dum. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, let's put it here while we get a drink. Oh, goodness. Yeah, this is a little bit taxing. We are currently 3 hours in. Or very nearly. Okay. Oh, I mean, another part of this that has been taxing is I'm actually trying to talk nonstop. 80% achieved. What? Are you lying to me? They wouldn't lie, right? Is that, if that's actually 80%, that's wild. Because I thought we had way more left to go, but maybe not. I guess you couldn't see it because it was a Steam achievement popped up. It said something about 80%, so it could totally be lying. That would be kind of mean. Like, I didn't read all of the text involved. I would just be very happy if this is 80% of the way, because sadly I have somewhere to be for dinner that I didn't realize before I started this stream. I wanted to go all the way to the end no matter what, but real life obligations are kind of important. Unless this was popping off, which, no. There's another thing where it's like, I have to make a video out of this, man. People love seeing the journey, even if it's hard to, like, watch as it goes on. What was I was talking about how, yeah, I've actually managed to stay talking most of the time here. I do think that's one of the biggest things I need to work on as a streamer as well. Is keeping up compelling topics. But at the same time, like, if you don't have people to bounce off of, I'm sure it's like just speaking entirely to yourself with no feedback is not actually what streamers do. They always have chat to bounce off of and elevate the joke, or go on to like discover a new topic. I mean, yeah, sure, Northern Lion goes on tirades entirely devoid of outside input for like 20 minutes at a time, but he still had someone that like set him off to that point, usually, or quite often. But no, anyways, I still like, this is still probably good training for the mind. It was very funny. Fauna's return stream recently. She hadn't been streaming for a while. Then she streamed Sisyphus, and like I said, she just ran up without a boulder. She just left the boulder at the start. Very funny. Definitely check it out if you're interested in funny VTubers that are also calm and comfy. But she was yapping something fierce that stream, man. It was so good. Like, I think that's what I admire most about some of these streamers, is their ability to just make anything entertaining. I'd love to be able to do that. And I mean, I'm sure a large part of it is just practice and finding your niche of people that are interested in what you have to say. I mean, it's definitely a skill. There's so many things that you think are just natural that are learned over time. And that's something, yeah, I would like to very much improve at. Like another one of the streamers I follow most, Regis Altair, Hollow Stars English. He is like very responsive to chat. He'll read out so many messages. That's like another way of just being very, very engaging. It's like, can I do that well? I don't know. I haven't had the opportunity really so much. Ah, we're fine. Not even close, baby. Oh god, it's close. Don't fuck it up. Please turn. Okay, we're good. Oh my goodness, what is this? Okay, we want to go far left, I think, here. Oh no, there's even like openings at the edge here. That is scary. I don't like this very much. Oh gosh, so many spinning rocks, please. I don't want to be sent back down. Hey, look, the lightning of Zeus. Stay away, foul rock. Oh shit. We're okay. That was riskier than it should have been. I never should have taken that risk. Okay, go right through here. Wait for these to expand so we know. Okay, we're supposed to go straight through the middle. And we wait for it to go outwards. Now we go as it gets smaller. What a calming. Yeah, the default music track of this is pretty good. Very fitting, I guess. Is this actually a new song? I don't know that we got this one earlier. Okay, just keep pushing. Just keep pushing. God, this guy must have absolutely huge, I can't remember, calves? Yeah, his calves must be absolutely jacked after pushing this up the hill for so long. Like, I think the model doesn't quite show just how much extra strain and force it would take to push this up. Like, you'd be buff, I think, if you're doing this forever. Unless that's a specific part of the curse that you were placed under by the gods, that you can never gain any muscle or something like that. Okay. This is just a scary area because, like, we really don't want to lose progress at this point, okay? Ooh, goodness. And yeah, you saw the speed there. You saw, like, if we were on top of that, we would have been in so much danger. Let's wait for this to come all the way over here. And then we go. What the hell is this area we're approaching now? Yeah, lightning bolt, scary stuff. Oh god. What was I thinking? But yeah, this guy's, like, he would be ripped. Like, his legs for pushing this. I'm not sure about the upper body. I think the upper body would be more just, you're leaning your body weight into it. And most of that, I think, would be supported by your legs. So, mostly, like, lower body, I think he'd be, like, jacked. If only one day I can be any sort of muscular. Hell, I just want to be, you know, fit someday. I need to... What the heck is this? Are we able to... Here, just stay right here. Don't move. I'm really concerned this isn't, like, fully secure. Okay, those don't seem to do anything. They're just, like, textured ground. But, like, what if I touched the rock? Okay, nope. Seems to just be a ground texture thing, not a, like, obstacle that'll kill you. Presumably. But then what's the obstacle here? If it's not these little nubs. Yeah, I'm confused. Like, there's a really high up spot. I would think would be, like, really high risk to be around, but maybe they're just giving us one? I don't know. Don't want to be too kind to the makers of these games. They could put a really screw you over mechanic towards the end of this after being nice for 5 seconds. Ooh, gosh. Yeah, this would be a real workout. I wish I had more, see the mountains over there? Like I said, one of the things I liked outdoors was when I went to states that had, like, mountainous places to hike in. That'd be so nice to have close to here. That'd be, like, the optimal way to exercise would just be hiking. As long as it, like, wasn't buggy, which it's so buggy here, dude. I hate it. I hate that aspect of the outdoors. Please just, like, snap and eliminate all bugs everywhere. Oh, Zeus, please hear me. Please eliminate all bugs instantaneously, yet not disrupt the ecosystem somehow. The food chain. Yeah, currently, like, all I really do for exercise, I have an exercise bike that I bought like half a year ago now, maybe. Maybe it's been that long. I'm so glad I have it because I was not doing well about exercising on my own before that. But it's been a very, like, comfortable way to exercise ever since. I can do it, like, while watching anime, which is so good, so nice. It's helped me, like... But I've become more regular at watching anime and exercising because of it. So, that's good, that's nice. Dude, what was up with this area? Why'd they give us one that was, like, a complete gimme? Like, they have to have something mean upcoming, right? Here we just see a lot of bombs towards the edge. I'm kind of concerned that there might be something else I'm missing. Because otherwise, that's too easy. They're gonna have, like, one random bomb in the middle, or they're gonna have, like, boulders coming down from the heavens trying to crush us. I'm paranoid, man. These games, when they're kind to you, they're gonna slap you. They're gonna... It's just to catch you off guard by the, like, cruelest mechanic in the game. Let's see, anything else? Yeah, it's nice that I've been exercising with that exercise bike recently, though. Because I did notice going to Anime Central, I felt like previous years, I think I had, like, leg pains from standing around, walking around the entire day, all 3 days. Or before, I think I only went 2 days. This time I went all 3 days, and I, like, had no problems at all. So, just a little bit of regular exercise, even if it's just 15, 20 minutes a day, like, helped so much, apparently. It's just one of those things I always wanted. It's just I couldn't justify the money towards it, but I'm getting to the point where I have a little bit of leeway money to, like, improve my standards of living. And that's been so freeing. Like, it's such a good thing. That was such a good investment. I mean, it's so strange to see how, like, your perception of money just warps over time. As a child, I was so happy when I got, like, a couple video games for my Christmas or my birthday. Outside of that, I didn't really get much of anything. But, like, my parents still, like, they'd buy us the newest Nintendo console or whatever, usually. So it's like I was well enough off. It's just I also had such, like, a rationing mindset. If I did get any money, it'd be like slowly build it up to eventually buy a singular game. Okay, this is kind of scary. I think, oh my god, why are they turning to look at us? I think we don't want to touch any rock anywhere. Oh god, they throw rocks. They throw stones. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but they'll definitely hurt me too. Like, my soul, if you knock me off the edge, please don't. These guys are goofy little fellas. These little, like, golem dudes. Kind of funny. I'm glad they aren't, like, seriously brutally launching my stone super far. Because that could be really rough. Potentially. Sliding on up. Oh, but yeah, money. It's such a weird thing to look at, because, you know, there's just people around the world, or even in my community, in my country, that like I've been very privileged, I will say. Like I was never left wanting for like fundamental things, and I had game systems. That's a lot. Like I got a computer like in junior high. Like I was given a computer to do stuff on. And it's just so weird to think now. It's like now I have so much more money to do with what I want. But it's like I've just been so lucky, man. It's so weird. And then you look at the, like I was talking about other states, like this is a really low cost of living location. In other areas, like the price of stuff going up, it hurts me so much to see like go somewhere out to eat and to pay like $20 for it. But that's becoming the new norm in our area. And if I moved elsewhere, it could be so much higher. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is money isn't real, okay? It fluctuates so much. It's such a bizarre thing that controls your life. And it's hard to keep in mind just how, like, good you might have it. Because like anyone, I think you adjust pretty quickly to your current conditions. What the fuck is this? Dude. That looks like it has hands. Stay the fuck away, dude. That thing looks scary. It's got hands, man. It's gonna wake up and eat the boulder or something. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, like every person, you always adjust to your living situation. And things get worse, you're gonna feel bad about it. And then it's like, oh, but other people now, it's like you have to be appreciative for what you have, but at the same time, when your quality of living goes down, it is rough. Okay, keep pushing, please, I beg of you. How close are we? I do not know. I think the thing lied earlier about being 80%, by the way. It was a very short 80%, if so. Go, go, go! Yeah, we do not want to drop into these holes at all. Just keep rolling. Thankfully, we seem to have pretty good control in this region. Okay, what else? What else? How about video games? Other video games. I said I've been playing Unicorn Overlord as of late. A very fun tactical RPG akin to Fire Emblem. I really like the art in the world quite a bit too. It'd be so nice, like, it's kind of a niche genre, I think, tactical RPGs. But I do have a soft spot for them, because back in, I grew up with mostly just Nintendo consoles. And Fire Emblem was one of the early series I got really, really invested into back then. I remember especially when I got Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn and Path of Radiance. Those were two of my favorites. A bunch of the Game Boy ones too, like Sacred Stones I think was the one that really pulled me into the series first out of all of them. And maybe that got me into just tactical game genre in general, which has branched off to so many other games I've played through the years. Like card games have tactics, League of Legends, like map mobility stuff was tactical. Teamfight Tactics has tactics in the name. But I really like those sort of like games that involve strategy are so good. And that's one of the earliest ones I can think of that I really got invested into. So it's nice to see Unicorn Overlord, which is like a new take on the genre, kind of. What the hell is this, man? What is this? What does it mean? Are we nearing the top or no? I have no idea. It looks like it could be sort of a top of the mountain type thing. But yeah, Unicorn Overlord, great game, fun game. The story isn't like crazy, but I don't have problems with it either. But what I'm really enjoying is the gameplay and just how much control you have over what your characters do. You can like put a bunch of characters in a single squad that then attack as one unit. And it's a really cool new take on the genre. I hope we see more in the future. I hope I see more tactical games of that type in general. Because they're always such fun. And not great for streaming though. It's been... I've had so few people stop by and say anything in the chat. In fact, I wonder if I got anyone outside of the very first stream. But hey, I mean, thinking back to the past, what, year and a half of me streaming off and on, that's not too unusual. So, like, if I'm just enjoying the games, like, just play the games I enjoy, and if it works out, it's great. That'll be great. Just do what I can. And what I can do right now is push this boulder up the hill at a snail's pace. Oh, but that's a lot of things in life, hey? You just repeat it and hope for the best. Oh my god, it's wild to think of how lucky it felt even getting into my current job. Previously, like, I went to university for a degree, but everything, like, it was wrapping up around COVID, and I didn't get a proper, like, internship going during the time, and it was so hard to even look for jobs. It's such a pain to look through the job market, and I'm very lucky to be where I am now, to have gotten the position I'm in currently, because I was working at a pizza place. Part-time to make money while I was finishing up university, and I just kept working there after because I hadn't found a job in my industry. And then my current boss came into the pizza place and recognized me and said they had a position if I was interested, and that was just so out of nowhere and wild. Like, sometimes you just have to, I guess, play towards those. You just have to make those lucky moments possible. So a lot of it's a marathon. It's shoving the boulder up the hill. You just keep doing your utmost, like whatever you can do right now, even if it's not the optimal thing, even if it's not, you know, the thing you could put all this effort through and maybe it'd be a better chance. Do what you can, as much as you can, when you feel like you have that effort available in your heart. And eventually, maybe you'll make it to the top of the hill with a bit of luck. Yeah, get it twisted. You can make your dreams reality. You can totally meet your favorite streamers. Probably not, but you know. But you can make it to the top. At the very least, you can make it to the top of that hill and see what is on the other side, even if it's just more hill. Wow, this is a really long section of nothingness. I'm surprised. This really is the peak. Wow. Damn. There's a nice little atmospheric view here. Got the mountain ranges, got all these clouds. So what if I just stopped right here and shoved the boulder off the edge, huh? What if we never actually made it at the top? What if we just got inside of our goal? And gave up that? Nah, we're doing it. We're putting the boulder in its place. Let's go! Up onto the pedestal, I believe. I was expecting this to take 6 hours, by the way. Not 3.5. That's something. Wow. I must have done pretty good then. Maybe I am a gamer. Oh, the last bit. You've got it. Sheesh. Damn, Zeus, put on a shirt. What are you doing?
Sisyphus, you've finally reached the summit. I know your journey wasn't easy. Just like the world you've lived in, filled with effort and pain, injustices and resentments, things not going as planned. It's not just the world of humans that's absurd. Everyone eventually dies. Even the wisest cannot uncover all truths. Living without knowing even the reason for one's birth. As long as one is born human, the world seems only absurd. Sisyphus, what meaning can you find in this endless suffering?
I think of all these options, I just acknowledge that overall life is meaningless and you must find your own meaning and your own goals to put your all into, and not to worry too much about the overall meaning, the overall greater purpose. So just, have a good time with friends and with your games, with yourself. I acknowledge the meaninglessness and pursue unconditional joy in the moments between life and death. I will love and maintain this meaningless itself. I am already happy. Agreed, dude. Sisyphus be spittin' facts.
Very impressive. It seems you found the meaning of your life. Not even this punishment can dominate you. I must reflect on this too. Well, the time has come. I will send down the boulder, so push it back up again.
No, Zeus, what are you doing? How could you? Oh, there it goes.
You did not give up, even amidst the endlessly repeating challenges.
Yeah, they chose good music for this. It's nice.
And in that process, you discovered true happiness.
I mean, if you say so, buddy.
We support your life, continuously striving like Sisyphus. Congratulations on clearing the game.
Well, yeah, we made it. We got through it all. I am kind of surprised. I expected this to be more difficult than it was. Like, 3.5 hours is nothing for one of these games. I think I think Only Up took me 8 hours or so to finish. That was rough. This one, hell, I think some of the like the hardest parts was that like ice area. I think that was I think that was maybe only halfway through. And then that lava area was frustrating, but like it didn't majorly reset our progress much. So yeah, actually this was a pretty easy rage game. I don't know, man. The skill issue, I suppose, for some of the other people attempting to accomplish this. But no, we crushed it. Nice. And like I said, I think I managed to challenge myself to keep talking most of the time with various topics, and I think we did an okay job at that. Let me know in the comments if you think I am trash at talking, or you enjoyed just a little bit of what I had to say. But yeah, we're just rolling along, seeing the sights. Really cool game. Like I said, it was pretty easy for a quote-unquote rage game, Faudian game. Maybe this doesn't quite fit this. I'm not sure. But I really liked the actual, like the base idea of it, just being Sisyphus shoving a boulder up the hill forever. Like, that's cool. That is cool. There we go. Time taken. 30 minutes. Misspeak. 3 hours, 20 minutes, 52 seconds, 10 out of bounds, and 22,476.83 meters. First clear with the boulder. Good job, guys. Thank you so much if you happen to stop by to enjoy this this struggle with me. Let's how can I not block anything? Woo! There we go. Smile for the camera. Yeah, we did a good job. I'm glad we managed to get through it. Good times. Oh wait, I'm dumb. I was on studio mode. Pain! You didn't even see me moving around there. I'm a fool. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time hanging out. And yeah, we'll be streaming more in the future. Like I said, I'm trying to make it a thing where I'm streaming more regularly again. So stop by when you're interested. Let's see. I assume main menu, it'll just go back. Yep, just to the menu. But yeah, fun game. I'm glad I ended up playing it. I was expecting a lot more suffering though. Maybe that's actually a bit of a disappointment, you know. We needed more pain, more suffering, more grinding, but we did manage to make it through, and I'm quite happy about that. If you did stop by, thank you so much. Hope you're having a fantastic day or night, and I'll be around. I'll be streaming more Unicorn Overlord in the upcoming days. Not sure what will start after that. I know there's still Persona. Hey, thanks Hayden. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, quite the Sisyphean effort, right? A little bit too easy. But yeah, we'll be playing more Unicorn Overlord. After that, maybe Persona 3 or Kingdom Hearts. Should I start that? It's such a struggle to choose, man. There's infinite options out there, infinite content. But yeah, anyways, hope you're having a great day or night, and I'll plan to see you all at the next stream. Goodbye and farewell. Have a good one. And I finished in time to make that dinner I was talking about with the family. Glad I did not have to cancel. Victory! Oh, we're gonna have steak fajitas, dude. It's gonna be so good. I bet you're so jealous. All right, bye. Have a good one.